Please note the views and opinions expressed by the hosts on this show are not necessarily the views held by the station.
You're listening to Critical Mass Radio. Now it's our turn.
Indeedly-deedle-do. Hey, welcome to Outside the Box, Monday night, July 1st, 2013, if you're a follower of the Gregorian bullshit calendar. What else? Yeah, that pretty much covers it. Oh yeah, for all the the corporate employees of the Corporation of Canada, please enjoy your corporate banquet today, complete with fireworks from the Rotary Club, giving thanks and homage, worship to your corporate god, Ra. Enjoy. Yeah, it's funny when you start looking at things the way they really are, and you kind of go, oh, so that's what I was doing wrong all along, feeding it power and feeding it energy. Well, that's why they call it Canada. After all, isn't that interesting? Huh, what are the odds? I'd say they're pretty good, about 100% actually. Yeah, I'd bet on that pony. Every single race. Yeah, so interesting times here with good old Mercury retrograde, and I tell you, man, all this shit's coming out between the cracks right now, and that's the joy of Wu Wei. You sit back and watch. You don't have to do a thing. That's the joy of the universe. You don't really have to physically do anything. You don't even put any intention on it. You just kind of put the intention out that you're open, and holy, like magic, all the shit you ever needed to know through the front door, and hope you can keep up with it, right? Yeah, so where are we going to go tonight? I haven't got a clue. I was out for a little while today, just hanging out. Martin popped down and went for a run for a bit, and it was just nice to zone out and have a chat with a fellow Geminian, a centered one no less. I know a couple, MJ and Martin. I know there's a couple more there. And and the reason why I don't know too many centered ones, I know lots of Geminis. Crazy bastards when they're not centered. That mutability and duality, you throw it all together and you got yourself some serious fireworks. You don't need the Rotary Club for that. Promise, I've watched it and witnessed it too many times. Yeah, and you got to be also careful about which Gemini twin shows up, right? Because most times they don't even know they're twins. Because they didn't bother checking, as to what their design was all about. And one day the all lovey-dovey one shows up, and the next day the heinous little bastard with a knife, ready to go in your back shows up, right? Good twin, bad twin, sort of thing, right? And it really is that dual. I know I lived it. Fortunately, most of that energy was focused on me, trying to shred myself. So, which not to say I didn't shred a few people with my ego. Absolutely, that's the trick. And when you start looking back at it and think of the things that you would never do again, well, that's you spotting your ego. Look at all the things that you've done that you would never do again. The only reason you did them the first time is because your ego had you by the short and curlies and was given really good tugs. Typically the ego likes to hang around the 7 deadly sins. So if you want a quick check on where you are in the Jacob's Ladder game, just go down the 7 deadly sins and check off every fucking one of them, because I do. Right? Well, you got to be honest with yourself. Because anyone that says they removed any one of the vices, I'm going to call a liar and full of ego. It's about limiting them. If you eliminate them completely, well, you wouldn't be listening to me right now. You would be in another dimension. See how that works? Right? So that's the thing about being here. If you're here, well, so am I. Haven't got it quite figured out yet, So sorry to burst anyone's bubbles, well, ego bubbles anyway. That whole illusion of grandeur that we all seem to have for ourselves, that's ego-based. Instead of having a more perfect, serene love of self, they're quite different. They are night and day, actually. Yeah, I was got into a topic about unconditional love and how that has to be removed and stuff, and I could see the intent and the perspective behind it, but there's a lot more to it than that. Because, you see, here's the thing about contrast. You can't have contrast until you have something, equal and opposite to contrast it with. Otherwise, you're, looking at a blank wall. And you can't call it anything because you got nothing to compare it to. So it doesn't make for a very interesting creation. And boy, did we make an interesting creation. And of course, some elements of that creation our consciousness got out of hand and started dealing with a holier than thou attitude. The one that's slightly less than creation herself, and a whole lot more than the unknowing parts like us, deciding to take it upon itself, creation. But there's the catch. It doesn't know all. So there's something amiss. There's something going to go screwy, because only the all-knowing, fail-safe us, will ever have that and be that. And I'm not sure why people would want to, or beings would want to separate from that concept altogether, because all you're doing is separating from yourself. You are the all-knowing. Duh. We're just in a less than knowing state right now is all. And we're working our way to it. I'm getting a lot of feedback with regards to, and this is how I know that we're resonating. And I don't think it or believe it. I know this. It's really cool. So I'll share it with you. I've lost count of the number of times that people get back to me and say, it's like you were inside my head. I was thinking, and then you said it. Well, of course I said it because you were thinking it. Well, part of me being you don't you get. See, just because I'm saying it doesn't make it mine. I'm just a conduit. I'm just one part of all consciousness. No lesser and no greater than the rest of consciousness. And that's where we got to get back to, that beautiful neutral point. This is why, people that need to take credit or claim ownership or what's the other infamous ego thing? Oh, yeah, patents and copyrights and all of this, materialistic separation. Sorry, you'll never find your way home. You keep playing with your toys. It's a nice playpen, isn't it? I think I'll call this playpen Earth. Gaia. And see what the kids do and how long they actually play with the same toys, lifetime after lifetime, thinking it's getting better. Millions of years later, I'm thinking that some of these kids would get bored, but no, they're quite content to meet, stick it out for eternity. And you want to do that, that's great, but this particular part of consciousness is getting her pretty ass out of here. And hopefully having a few friends alongside. I didn't say that. I'm not going to take anyone with me. That's stepping on free will choice. No. We do this together, shoulder to shoulder. See, there's the thing, another beautiful separation. Behind every good man is a good woman. Really? I would never want that. I wouldn't want anyone standing behind me. And I certainly don't want anyone standing in front of me. You get a shitty view that way, both parts. No, I've always looked for people that would stand alongside me and be willing to, play life on those terms. Whatever comes, we meet it together. Instead of me sacrificing you by having you in front of me, or you sacrificing me by having you behind me. So it just makes more sense that way. Because if we take the shoulder to shoulder, standing tall, we end up going together, right? So it's not a race. Competition is another one of the most divisive things you'll ever find, right? With competition comes master-slave program. Gotta win, gotta win, gotta win. Well, I prefer to focus on the win-win situations versus the I win, fuck you, that kind of mentality. I don't like that one too much. It's one of the things I love about the Japanese. They always enjoy a great sports game, and they're never more happy than when there is a tie. 1-1, 2-2, 0-0 kind of thing. Because in that game, no one lost honor. It was an honorable game. So there you go. There's another little allegory for you. How to play the game properly. How to not worry about what other people are doing. Because we're doing it together, and obviously we're moving together. And yet and that's one of the issues here right now. Interesting day. It's going to be a very interesting day. It's amazing what you hear when you're just out and about, doing your thing. Everything crosses my desk, and that's the irony of it too. Is I say this all the time, and still people don't believe me. Really? Well, you might want to start not believing that. You might want to start knowing it, because that's the way the universe works. When you start to go in flow with it, and you start to resonate with center, neutral, you get kind of magnetic with it, right? You start pulling things in, right? And that's why, like yesterday, for me, it was I just got to let go. I'm tired of the dramas. I'm just tired of everything. And I still get dramas handed to me. And I'm looking at them going, no thanks. It's one of the problems with my actual being is I'm very good-natured, and I have very, very thick skin. I'm very, very patient, probably to an extreme flaw. I've heard it many times, from lots of people. It says, "How did you put up with that for so long?" I says, well, I only put up with it. It's like the same thing I do with guitar, right? People say, "How can you, play for same 3 chords over and over for 3 hours or more, or whatever the case may be, while other people sit and work stuff out, on bass or on lead or whatever?" It's because I'm quite content to do that, because I have a role to play, right? And it makes me a better rhythm player, and that's my strength, rhythm. You can set a clock to me. Promise. That's the joy of being in the studio, too, with a click track, and never hearing it. Well, the thing is, if you can hear the click track, then you're not on. The click track should always disappear. And if there are breaks in the song, it's the only time you should be able to hear a click track. So that's kind of where my life is. I just get in the groove. I love groove. When you're playing, you get one of the probably the best groove drummer I've ever worked with was Gary, Dog. This guy, he's actually the drummer for Only Hearts, by the way, and he's the drummer for Comes to Mind. Only Hearts. And there was one other one we did with him that never actually got out of the studio. I didn't have time. Woof, woof, woof. But anyway, that's the drummer in Only Hearts and Comes to Mind. And that's Gary. He just, he could just get into a groove, and you could set your watch to him too. So I was like, okay, set the pace, let's rock, right? And never missed a beat, and wasn't overly flashy. Wasn't need for a lot of drama when you have that, that solid thing going on. But when you're with me, I prefer to let people learn. And this is the allegory. Learn by seeing for themselves. I don't want to come out and tell people, well, you really need to do this, because the one thing that's guaranteed when you do that, and I say this on the air all the time, about I need you to do something. That's my need, not yours. This is what I need from you. It's not an order. It's just I'm just telling you what I need, right? So with just being a solid little rhythm player and whatever, you allow people to play around within those chords, and then eventually everyone gets on the same melody. Most times. And sometimes, it's like that beating a dead horse thing, right? Sometimes it'll sink in. of their own free will and accord, or sometimes it gets to a point where you've just got to, say it. And of course, what are you going to get when you actually say what you've been trying to, put across? And I've had situations where I will have actually said something over and over and over again, and people still don't hear it. Right? So it's normal. It's unfortunately it's normal. That's all programmed. That's predetermining what you're going to hear because that's what you want to hear. Not what you need to hear, but what you want to hear to suit your needs. And it goes back to exactly what I was talking about last night. One of the reasons why people learn to hate me is not because I've went out of my way to hurt them or piss them off. It's because I have made them aware of a truth far too blatant for them to accept. So that's why, I'll share what I can and what I will on the air, and regardless, as far as I'm concerned, I know there's people tuned in. Absolutely, I know there's people tuned in. There's thousands of people tuned in. But you came here of your own choice, and there's my truth disclaimer. If you can't handle the truth, go somewhere else. It's not my intent to harm you, nor is it my intent to create, self-animosity. I'm not into that sadomasochism thing, right? Which has actually been the result of a lot of the stuff I've done on the air. I've been attacked more times than I could count. And you've heard me go off some nights. You won't hear that much anymore, if at all. Because there's nothing to prove here. This is the joy of this. There's nothing to prove. Ego needs proof. I don't. I just kind of go, yeah, that's it. Cool. Actually, trust me. I think if there's a fundamental thing that I'm trying to share is to maybe hope that others will start trusting themselves as much. Because we've been riddled with so much doubt, so much program, so much physical universe. So much, it's mind-boggling that any of us woke up at all. Here, take a second and just imagine going back to the way you used to be in system with your eyes wide shut. And tell me how that would make you feel. I was thinking about that on Saturday when I was driving out to see Vicky. And I actually didn't even finish the whole concept of going back. I said, oh, no, I could never do that. And there's the trouble with truth. And why, when you seek it, you seek a large responsibility. And most people want the truth, but they generally don't want the responsibility that comes with it. And that's when the catch-22 falls into place. If you cannot stand in the truth once you understand it, don't worry, the truth will sort you out. The universe will give you, got to say it at least once. Excuse me. You will get a bitch slap upside the universe. And if you still don't get it, you'll get another one, and it might be a little harder. And then you might have to get another one. And when you do wake up, here's the other catch-22 of it. When you do wake up and go, I am going to stand in the truth, the catch-22, damn if you do, damn if you do, kicks in as well. It's quad, right? It works 4 ways. Because what happens when you stand in the truth is the universe starts stripping away all those things that you have attachments to. Well, if you want to set yourself free, you got to get rid of all the chains, all the bonds, right? And those bonds come in many illusions. Strongest one is typically family, followed in order, like things like, your own possessions, houses, cars, trucks. You see where I'm going here? And depending on how strong you stand in the truth will determine how fast that gets ripped from you. I'm thinking I might have been doing okay because it got ripped from me overnight. And I mean that literally. Overnight. took the family bit, a week or two, or a little 28-day stint in solitary for daring to stand in the truth. Well, see, here's the problem. You can't stand in the truth very well when you're dealing with a bunch of pre-programmed, remote-controlled automatons called cops. That's all they are. They're remote-controlled. That's what the reptilian brainstem's all about. That's what electronic surveillance, smart meters, electrical grids, sewer systems. They're all about capturing you in as full a way as you possibly can. And until you're aware of these things, you're caught. And that's the biggest joy of truth, because once you become aware of anything and what it's doing, it's like all these people that are reporting chemtrails and all the rest of it, they're never going to be affected by them. Only those that aren't aware of them will be. Yet, I'm going to use that as an example because you hear that enough, and lots of other things, right? Other little, fear porn and kiddie fear porn going around. But the simple truth is, the ones that are doing all the observing and going, look at that, look at that, look at that, they're the ones that are dispelling it for themselves because they became aware of it. Can't harm you once you're aware of it. Silly people. You're God, remember? Just saying. So there's so many things that I want to share right now. It's like crazy. But like I said, the joy of truth is very simple. Once you find it, you're impervious to anything of a lie or a deception around it. Good trade-off. There's your armor. There's your leveling up. You get a power-up level. You get stronger armor. You get a stronger sword, allegorically speaking. Means you're able to push through the next one a little bit easier. And I assure you, the ones that you hesitate in are the ones that will bind you. And it'll hold you there, kicking and screaming until you go, all right, I'll stand in it. So, got a little bit of feedback as far as last night and the I who shall not be named. Here, I'll tell you what. Once you become aware that you're not the name, and I was even having this discussion with someone today, explained it all, only to hear, well, my name on this is in lowercase. You're still not seeing it. Uppercase, lowercase, it's all legalese distraction. They're trying to give you every reason in the world to be able to keep your name so that they can keep you. And you'll fight. Most people will. They'll fight. Oh, it's mine. My mom taking it. No, they didn't give it to you, asshole. That's why they call it a given name. It was given away. Did no one ever think of that? No. I just saying, it's crazy. I just sorry, I'm trying to rationalize a few things here, and of course, and says, good luck. Ain't gonna happen. It's as simple as this: you either get it or you don't. And if you do get it, then you have another choice to make: accept it or don't. But I assure you, either way, your life is going to change. And it's going to pretty much change in the same way, either way. You're damned if you do and damned if you don't, you see? But we have to decide, there's another level. We have to decide whether it's the physical meat stick game you want to keep playing over and over and over. Enjoy your body, yes, it's great. Oh, yeah. Or you can choose infinity and choose a better creation. And that's the irony of this, too, because that creation is what we're in right now. This is creation. It's a fractal of the universe. This is the manifestation of divine thought. And I don't mean that in the Egyptian prick version of thought, right? The guy that planted the seed of doubt, made you a believer. No, I'm not talking about that one. That's the problem, when someone as smart as thought or Thoth. It's actually Thought, but anyway. See, I got the hint because of my former last name, the family name that I was given that was already owned by the Crown, that I don't take anymore. I can use it if I want, because I've exposed the fraud. But THOMPSON. So I've got THO, Ta, right? So it means you can either say it Thompson or Thompson, right? Isn't that funny? So same thing with Thought. Because the H, ask the French, the H is silent. Especially French Canadians, they're fun. Oh, there's I just got popped up, and let me see here. Okay, absolutely. Yeah, Santa just tagged me. Yeah, so again, if you want the truth, you really want the truth, and you better decide that you really want it, because if you don't, surf on to another station. Because I will not be held responsible for your choices. I am responsible for mine. It is my choice to speak freely on a very neutral platform, radio, whatever the case may be, that people actually have to make a physical effort to come and listen. That's your contract. Your agreement with truth. Not me. It's got nothing to do with me. I'm just the messenger. And oh my, how everyone loves to shoot the messenger. Well, more accurately, stick knives in one's back. But that's okay. That works for me. And it doesn't really, it doesn't faze me. Here's the truth of Earth. If you're going to walk around expecting that no one's going to toss a knife in your back, you're not on this planet. Oh, we have a caller. Let me open the lines up. See? I see someone. I'll bring them in. Area code 818. Let's get you on the board here. There you are. How you doing?
I'm good, Kate. How's everything?
Awesome. What's on your mind, my friend?
Well, I've been following this stuff when I had the U.S. IRS steal money out of my bank account. Brought me into this Out of the Illusion about 4.5 years ago, and that was one of the greatest things ever for me, because I did a search on get money back from IRS, and it brought up on page 2, when you do a Google search, of UFOs, Illuminati, et cetera, everything, that you and Santos and Dean and all, so many others talk about. And I was just curious on, your show the other night with Santa. That was great. That was excellent. You guys are wonderful. Thank you for doing what you do.
Oh, thank you. He's a lot of fun to sit in with.
Yeah, man. He's brilliant. He's out there sometimes. He's really brought a lot of enlightenment to me. So, anyway, you too. So,
all of us. We're working together.
That's right. It is a family thing. Family affair. So what I was getting at was, I was curious, due to that show, and I'm sorry, I know you were on the topic, you were starting to talk about Admiralty and all that, or path that one is on. I was wondering about just my path, because I've moved from Los Angeles back to help my brother who has MS, and he's running 3 restaurants, and I am helping him with one, and getting these people really to do what I need them to do. And that is difficult.
Good
extremely.
luck.
And
I was going to say good luck,
I do my best. I do my best to lead with love, right? We know that's going to win. We know it's going to win every time, always, but I feel for them, but they're conditioned, and I can't tell them that. I'm not going to say that to somebody. That's just wrong and rude,
Well, egos don't like it.
Compassionate.
Yeah, well, egos don't like it.
They don't. Yeah, and it's not very compassionate on my part. However, I've got to stand up, and I know there was a St. Michael channeling. I don't know if you listen to those, but whatever. Someone had one on YouTube, and I listened to it about, you got to stand up for you. Yep. The universe will defend itself. And so that's what I've got to do. But still, I need to do this without my ego.
Okay, well, here, let me throw a mirror at you, see what you think of this. It is an absolute act of compassion to throw it in their face. The ego, right? Yeah, I'm sure you've heard me a few times bringing the chainsaw out and just going, here, let me get that off of you. And sometimes it takes a few passes with a saw for people to actually go, oh, yeah, that's what it is. See, and that was one of the discussions I was having today. My role here, as I see it, is one to do what I do, and more specifically, you're not going to reach anybody until you start getting rid of the shit off their screen, if you know what I'm saying. You got to get rid of that program, and yeah, you have got a fight on your hands because you're dealing with lifetimes. Depending on how old the individual is, you're dealing with lifetimes of programming, peer pressure, group think. Schooling, religion, culture, rah rah, Americaca, all the rest of the shit that goes in with it. So you've got your hands full. So
yeah, Americaca, that's beautiful.
Well, it's like Canada, right? It all works.
Yeah.
Right? And
hey, Hoser. Yeah, right.
Hey, Hoser, how's it going? Hey, yeah. Take off. Hey, well, that's the irony too. I'm Irish. It's like even funnier. But anyway,
yeah.
But really, what you're doing, and I can hear the compassion in your voice. You don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. Well, you're not.
Well, really. For me, it's not about hurting their feelings. Well,
you can't hurt a true life being's feeling. You can't. It's impossible. We are pure love. You cannot hurt our feelings. Here's the thing. If I was standing on a railway track and there was a train coming and you noticed it and you didn't bother saying anything to me and you let the train hit me, I think you're a jerk.
Yeah. Right.
And that's what you're doing is you're trying to say, you might want to step off that track. There's a train. Oh, good. I just got you in time. And when we start reversing it, because here's the problem with the ego program. We all have it. Me, everybody. You cannot operate in the physical realm without it.
Right.
But what's happened is that tool is the tool we became. We became the tool instead of using it. It is an analytical tool that can be easily manipulated outside of you or from inside of you. What's happened with the program is we've allowed that ego to be programmed from outside, and all manner of garbage is programmed into it. So you're not hurting anyone's feelings. What you're doing is you're bitch slapping the TV set until it changes the channel, or the TV breaks and they go, oh, hey, how's it going? Oh, there you are. Because here, something that I like to use, because I mean it, this is my pure intent. It said, I love you. You are the most beautiful, shining essence in this universe. You are pure, created perfection. The tricky little bastard that is making you think it's it, that's the one I'm after. So I'm trying to leave you out of it and get rid of the program. That's what I'm working on here. So it's like using the analogy of walking up to a born-again Christian, for example, and say, they're all about Jesus, that, and the other. I said, well, why don't, here's one of his lines, is you call me Lord, yet you will not do the things I tell you to do. And that's all I'm choosing to do. You want to worship the beast as they've set up, the literal version of it, you go ahead. But I'm sorry, I'm going to take JC, cool dude, at his word. I'm pretty cool with that. I'm going to listen to what the guy actually had to say, not what some preacher on a pulpit is interpreting it, because they were taught to interpret it this way, and the one before it, and the one before it, and so on. So we got a really bad game of telephone going on here. Someone changed the message on the telephone. And what happened is that here I am again. This is a real life allegory. I used to be the one playing, in grade 2, grade 3, we'd sit around and play telephone, right? You know how that game works. For those that don't know, for those that don't know, here's how it works. The teacher would be sitting. We'd all be sitting in a circle around the teacher, right? And the teacher would whisper to the first child a sentence.
Oh, I get where you're going. Yeah, and the story by the time you get around. The story ends up in Africa, and it came from the moon, and yeah, it's all different.
Well, actually, no, it's supposed to be the same. You're supposed to, telephone is to pass it along. It's supposed to be.
Right? Yeah.
So
it's supposed to be, right.
Teacher whispers to the child whispers next, and it'd say the dog jumped over the moon. It would get to me, then this is where I came in. I do this all the time. I would hear the dog jumped over the moon, and I would say, hey, diddle, diddle, the cat and the fiddle. to the kid beside me. And when they came around to stand up to say it, to make sure the telephone worked, they would say, "Hey, diddle cat, the cat in the fiddle," and the teacher would have this. All right, who messed with the telephone, right? That's what they've done.
You're the
I'm the
trickster.
upstart. Yeah, I'm the one that said, no, I'm going to change this one. So I'm kind of living the role now. No, the telephone got broken. Somebody passed along the wrong message. I'm trying to fix it. In the mirror. It's complete opposite, right? So.
Yeah, it is.
The funny little thing.
It's that same way, to skin that cat.
Oh yeah, there's more than one way to skin it. It's funny. There's lots of ways to skin this cat. Because I've got the game for me is to peel off as many layers as I can. So the more people that skin this cat, the happier I am. And even in conversing with people, I get opportunities to spot little bits of ego that may not be completely under my control yet. And there's a little bastard. Okay, get over there with the rest of that three-headed bitch, right? And that's why I don't mind. People can say what they want to me, say what they want about me. I mean, shit. If I was to listen to all of the rumors, listen to all of the bullshit that has been said about me, and I actually still was in full emotional ego state, I'd be dead years ago.
Well, and I get what you're saying. I played team sports. I have 3 older brothers, and I've really done away with my true. I'm a Gemini, June 1st, right? Yeah, right.
You sound like another one of those center Geminis. Thank you. I like meeting fellow center Geminis. You got,
I feel that I am. I mean, I'm actually a professional actor, but and I moved from L.A. because I just wanted to give up on all that. I heard not too many. I was meant to hear. I get the way I see it. I was meant to hear these conversations that someone would tell an acting coach about a meeting they had with a person who wanted them to sign a blood contract.
Yeah, it's real.
It's real, people. I'm telling you, it's real. And, I just got away from that. So I moved back to another place where I'd lived, and I like remaining off the grid due to, what I like, sovereignty, my choice, my world. Even though I share it in this physical, but I just had to get away from all that, and I've done my best to do away with that ego thing.
Well,
I tell them.
You've already showed me you can't be bought, so you've passed by phase 1. The phase 2 is a little low-level conflict, depends on what you take on and who you take on. Me, I took on Rome, so I got my ass handed to me for it. But I learned a lot. That was a trade-off.
Yeah, fortunate for me, I had Winston Shrout.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's wow, right? I mean, if he's the Dean Clifford of the U.S. So anyway, and he's helping out, I hear, in other ways, and that's wonderful. But beside that point, I have really told them that I don't care. I don't even need them to respect me. I need them to do their job. And the way this big picture will work is I don't yell at you. I will never. I know that. I'm not a screamer. The men in the kitchen who are mostly older than me, I ask them to do something. I don't tell them to. I ask them. They go, yes, boss. Okay, boss. And they're not, it's not, yes, matter. These are, they're grown men. They're cool. We have conversations about deep things, life. But it's the front of the house, the women, all this catty, blah, blah, blah. And I tell them, you don't have to like me. You don't have to even say hello to me. You've only got to take care of the customer, because our philosophy has been from our dad with his business, you take care of the customer and the money comes.
That's a fact.
And it's just that simple. It's just that simple. Now, at least for as long as the next few months as we have money, or however long that is, I don't know, maybe a year, 2, 3, I don't know. I don't know the timeline. Anyway, and it's just getting them that way. And I think I'm just going to have to, like you say, chop heads on the block and let them see that I am giving them the truth.
That's all you got to do. I use subtle things for people. That's a couple of things that Mark and I were talking about today. How do we get into the entry level with people that are fast asleep and what have you? Well, so one of the ones I like to use, I do it at anytime I'm at a checkout, which is very rarely, but picking up a couple of groceries, whatever. I'll pull out whatever's needed in it's plastic up here now. The money, it's not paper anymore. Anyway,
your coin is plastic.
Well, no, that will be soon enough. But no, it's steel. All the coins are steel. This is, if you look at the Roman Empire and how it collapsed, what we're witnessing is the allegory of that again. And this time we're taking it all the way down, right? We're not going to rebuild with the same bullshit. Now, what I'll do at a checkout, they'll say what, $18, and I'll hand it to you. You guys still take this paper fiat stuff for payment? And they always look at you like you got two heads, right? Well, of course they're gonna look at me different anyway, but that's okay.
Right.
See, I got a double-edged sword going on, right? Distract them over here with me being me, and distract them over there with truth, right? So, and the other one is, I ask people up front, says, do you like getting bills in the mail? And what's the first answer they're gonna give you? No, absolutely not. Yeah, I know, me either. So I wonder why we put bills in our wallets and purses then. $20 bills, $10 bills, and just leave it. Plant the seed. And that was pretty much the agreement that we had. Just plant seeds. And right now, you plant one seed. It's not like it was 2 or 3 years ago. You plant a seed and it takes 3-4 months to develop. What you're going to find happening now is you plant a seed today, and it's already a 6-foot shoot of bamboo tomorrow. That's what's happening with the frequencies. We're holding the high grounds now, and we're not yielding it. We're not falling in for the drama traps. We're not falling into the nonsense. And those of us that are maintaining the highest vibration we can, not giving in to the ego, the emotional, and getting all caught up in the drama. Yeah, I slip in and out occasionally. I'm sorry, I didn't mention I was perfect, did I? Oh, okay, good. As long as we have that understanding, right? In terms of the ego, there's still bits of it there. You got to get used to it, and you got to accept it until it's like I say, when I hear something, that might have a tinge of emotional, there you are, you little prick, and I'll pick it out, and I said, okay, now I know where that one is, and I'll just keep picking away at it until I can get it, as clear as humanly possible. But what's happening now is because, especially when I talk to people like yourself and everyone that calls in here, we're all vibrating at a much higher frequency, for lack of a better allegory. And I like using the clocks. We're all very loud clocks now, ticking and talking together. And the more that we gather, the more resonant frequency is forced out. So those sleepy ones that you're dealing with 1 or 2 seeds planted, will start ticking and talking a lot faster than it used to happen. I'm seeing things going exponential right now. I don't know about you.
We're manifesting. We are really manifesting quicker
in real time. Yes, in real time. So this is this would be a message for everyone, myself, you, everybody included, that just plant the seeds. Right. It is making literally a world of difference. That's it,
All right.
and you don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to get caught up in all the drama, because see, the thing is,
no, I don't.
You don't.
I get the end result. I get the call from the manager. Like today, I told everyone on Saturday, I'm taking the day off Monday. I don't want any phone calls. If you need me, feel free to. I had 5 by 10:30 a.m. And that means we open up at 5 a.m. at 5:30 in the morning. So I'm getting a phone call at 4:30. Where's my cook? Where's my waitress? Whatever.
Nice.
And I said, well, why don't you give them 15 minutes? Maybe they woke up late. And then next thing you know, I get a text. So I sleep for 10 more minutes, and I get a text. I'm awakened by that. So I'm not able. It's something I'm doing, I think. I'm not creating it properly.
I wouldn't say that. See, here's the thing about creation. It's everyone's responsibility, and we have a tendency, me included, of taking more of that responsibility onto our own, aspects. And what it does is it bogs us down, and of course it gives us what? Oh, that's right, doubt and guilt. No, stop doing that. That one was a tough one.
Okay, no, I'm not doubting. I'm not really doubting myself, and I'm not so much feeling guilty. I want to be I'll let you talk.
I was going to say mental note. When I speak and I say you, I mean everybody, me included.
Okay.
So
right.
Okay.
All right.
Just so don't like I said, we're actually communicating on a universal level because everyone is at our table. So when you say you, I know you're speaking to the all, and vice versa. Got it? It works so much better. This way we're co-creating now. We're not taking the onus on our own shoulders because look what we did with it when we did. Ooh, bit of a mess out there. I think.
That's not working. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I totally get what you're saying. You got people that are, if someone's not there right at the program time, clock, tick, 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 right? Program. It's pure program. Yeah. They teach you that in school. Be there for 8:45 or you get a late slip, and they punish you for being late, right? So that program's still running with people. So next time that happens, say, listen, okay, I hear you. Remind me to give them a late slip when I get in.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And but see, that would be, that would be the planting of the seed. It would also fill the trickster side of me.
If you start having a sense of humor,
it's because normally I have this sense of humor, about the whole thing.
You're Gemini,
when what's that?
You're Gemini, of course you do. I already know that.
Yeah, exactly.
The life of the party.
I am full of it, man. I'm full of it. But I'm also,
Me too. Not sure what.
The other side. What's that?
You said I'm full of it too. I'm not sure, but yeah, I know I'm full of something.
Yeah. And the other, but yet the other side is the philosophical. And not many Geminis are that I've met.
That's the center I talk of.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, so, that's a hard center to get to.
It's and it's taken a lot of training. I think it's the acting training, but whatever it is, it's that's what it's done for me. So,
well, I'll tell you, you're an actor, so here's one of the beautiful things about being stage and taking on an alter ego, as it were. Because on stage, I had to develop an on-stage persona to get over my terror of it, right? So, you put on the happy face, and if you've never heard my story, I always equated the stage to the gallows. And I'd puke my guts up before. That's why I never ate before shows, because I couldn't. I'd always puke it up. And
really?
Right before I go on stage, my heart's racing. That feeling you get when 6 or 7 cruisers surround you, and everyone comes out with drawn guns. No, I'm not saying it's happened, but you know what I mean. It's
right.
That
No, but yeah, I know. That's what something like that happened to me. It was 4 of them, and I knew I was free. I knew I was sovereign, and yet still, it took me a few moments to, like the one at my door, the one at my truck door saying, "Don't drink that," and I actually got fearful. Like, he said, "Well, I don't know. It could be alcohol," and I know what it is, and here I am. I didn't drink it.
I would have drank it.
So I know what you're talking about. I know what you're. If that happened now, I would say, "Screw you! You're a public servant. I'm drinking."
I'm having a drink of my coffee. If you want some, just ask.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't drink it. What, you want it all? Prick.
Right. Yeah.
But they're extreme programs too, and I'm really glad you called in tonight because we're covering a lot of things that I really wanted to touch on in terms of the physical realm and how to start overcoming some things. One, start having a sense of humor about things. Because
I need to. I live in a place in Kansas where, this is America. You go to church on Sunday and blah, blah, these rules that we were all taught. And it's difficult. There's one other person I know of here, and I have yet to get in touch with her. And I think she's one of Drunvalo's. She went through the training with him and all that. But that's all I know of. And so at times I feel so very like I am the only one. So yeah, I just wanted to interject.
I assure you, there's lots in Kansas.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Do you have Skype?
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, well, here, let me send you a contact request, and we'll get you hooked up with some people.
Excellent.
What's your Skype? I do shit in real time, eh? When it hits me, I do it.
Okay, I get you. I don't know. I haven't used it in a while.
Okay. Well, tell you what. My Skype is katie.renee.thompson. That's KATIE.RENEE.THOMPSON. And my handle is Cygnus Trumpset. All right. Now, that is, if you didn't get it right away, then don't worry. It's in the archive. It's in the recording. So
right. I'll just rewind. I'll rewind because I'm online also. So
yeah, just download this episode. You'll have the info, and we'll get you hooked up with tons and tons and tons of people. Because the last thing I want is for perfect angels and lights of absolute creation, such as yourself, to feel lonely.
Yeah, it happens, man. It happens.
Oh,
yeah.
Every single day. We all go through it. This is why, for me, to get, people gathered like minds, right? Then we become the clocks that tick-tock together because we are ticking and talking together, right? It's, me in words, right? Give me a word.
I know. No, I've caught on to that, yeah.
Isn't that neat,
I've even in one of the restaurants at night thought about having to help plant more seeds, help bringing in people at night when we're closed on that one night of the week, and doing like a first introduction to the UCC or to what's really going on with the birth certificate and all that. And that just doesn't seem appropriate right now. It seems like because that veil's going to lift really quick in the next who knows how long.
Do you want the crowbar? Do you want the crowbar? It's on my blog page that Ninja set up. kateofgaia.wordpress.com. You're going to look for the document, aka crowbar, called "I Who Shall Not Be Named," and right before it, you're going to read the essay, "The Long and Short of It." Long form, short form. Oh yeah, I love ripping allegories apart. The old ones are the best, right? So like stop pissing your life away. So best drink it then, huh? Things like that.
All right.
Long. Well, what did people? What did you think? That's the long and short of it. What did you think it meant? Well, it could mean a lot of things, and for me, it just resonated. That's long form, short form, and it all worked out because. There's another document there, and I will tell you how I wrote it. This is how.
No, wait. It was under which?
Kate of Gaia. That's Kate.
WordPress.com.
Yeah. Kateofgaia.wordpress.com, and just go to the Kate's Writings page, and there's not a whole. We're keeping it Spartan for a reason. I want it very simple so that people don't go to it and go, "Oh my God, it's so confusing." No, the only thing that's up there are the only things that are meant to be there, and the order of documents that I sent out, there's one called the Invocation of the Cross, which is CRSS. That's Clausula Rebus Sextantibus. That's the escape clause in the treaty. This is how I tracked it back. But that document was written entirely by decoding the Gravity Falls cartoon series using Black's Law. I shit you not.
Huh.
That whole document was based on a cartoon. And when you read it, it'll blow your mind. We learned how to use the now moment. Every book that you have, Black's Law, Bible, comic books, or whatever, it doesn't matter. Every history books, prophecy books, they all are in the now. There's no such thing as a history or prophecy book. Everything you read now matters now. It was created now because there is only now.
Exactly.
Right? So when you're reading in real time a history book, you're actually missing the allegories of what you're supposed to be seeing. And that's been my main focus and drive for the last month or so.
That's helpful.
Well, I tell you, once you start seeing the allegories and understanding what the pre-scent is, there's a three-part essay series called "Raining Cats and Dogs," which fully outlines well. There's more to be written, but I think it gives a very good overview of how to see the allegories, and how the physical realm is mimicking the spiritual, as above, so below. So it had to be, the physical is the copyright of the spirit, which is the right, which is the east, or the right hemisphere, divine feminine creation void, right? That's why they had to capture it here with the Regis stir to rule the divine creative feminine essence. And of course, it had to be given away because they can't steal it. We have to do it willingly. And
right. Mom and Dad with the birth at the vessels at the dock. Yeah.
Yeah, well, more importantly, what the system has done is they've convinced Mom and Dad that you're supposed to do this, and Mom and Dad don't ask any questions, and there's that old ignorance of the law is not a defense of it or from it.
Right.
And of course, gift. Look up gift in any law book; it'll tell you it is given without consideration. And what does the system give back? Well, a debt obligation called a bond, and they stick that to the baby's ass spiritually for a lifetime. And the name that Mom and Dad gave you actually was given, that's why they call it a given name, was given to the system, given away. And the system gives a birth certificate, and Mom and Dad spend the rest of your life convincing you that you're it. So they're actually the ones aiding and abetting you in the fraud, not the system. So it absolves system, keeps the system in honor. So what I was looking for, how are we in dishonor so that these bastards can get away with this trick? And there it is. So
exactly. Yeah.
You'll see the complete answer of how to turn the tables in I Who Shall Not Be Named. I don't give my name to anyone. I'll tell you what I'm called, but I'm not certain.
Well, you have no name. I mean, right? You have no name. None of us have a name.
Well, I have what I've claimed, and it shall never be given. For those that wish to hear what I am called, I'm called Kate, but I didn't give you that name. You can use it to address me, and get my attention to try to separate these little sparks of the all spark out. But other than that, no, that's mine. And I have another name inside that I will never utter. You see, because the true name of God, you, shall never be given or known by anyone but you. That's why I have mine that will never be revealed. You know what they say about telling someone a secret? If you want to get something public, we'll tell a secret. So I don't tell any. Yeah. I don't tell anyone my true name. I'll give them a reference. Kate. Kate's my reference. If you want to, and I'm still not giving that to anyone. You can use it.
Yeah.
But I'm not giving that away. Sorry. Mine.
Well, yeah. No, I hear you. And once they put me in the holding cell, they wanted, and I kept asking. I said, you should just let me go because you have no crime has been committed here unless you want to charge me with one. And then, I went into the area and I guess processing or whatever, and they wanted my fingerprints, and I said, I'm not giving you my fingerprints. And the lady, Sarge, whatever, who's in charge there at 11 p.m. or midnight, said, well, we're going to stand here all night. And I said, you can stand there all night, but I'm going to sit down. And I went back, stepped back, there was a wall, and I sat down. And I said, I need a court order to take my property. And they put me in a cell, and I slept. And then I woke up, and the cop said, here's your photo. You have a website. And I said, yeah, you're right. I do have a website, but that's not me. He said, what? I said, this is me. And I pointed to my face. That's not me.
That is merely.
That's me.
Yeah, talk to it and see if it answers.
Prove that is me. I said, you should charge that person then. And he went, what? You're and he shut the door and walked out. And then they wanted my photo. And I said, you're not getting this photo. I need a court order. And I stood there, and the guy's he's snapping away, and my head's down, my hand's in front of my face. And after a while, I saw feet walking toward me, and I said, if any public servant touches me, I will bond, or I will take your bond, and you will regret ever purchasing that little toy truck for your kid all the way up to your fancy little house. I will lean so hard, you'll regret ever wanting to be a so-and-so security force for this corporation known as blah.
Now, just for the benefit of listeners, and I hate I hate calling people that. We'll call it radio talk. What you've just referenced there is exactly how to handle a programmed in the system individual, because they're afraid of their own system. So using words like that are great. However, when you're out in the real world, that's all useless. So, but it's very powerful.
Oh yeah.
What you said there is very powerful to use those that are in fear of their own system.
Yeah.
So well done.
Yeah. Well, on that one, And then my bond, I looked on the I
was going to say it's about choosing what to say and when to say it, and that was a good choice.
And thankfully, I remembered. And thankfully, I remembered the videos. And I wish. That's one thing. That's why I love Dean. Dean does videos. They're out there for free. The information's there. I wish Winston, who has far more knowledge, I wish he would do that same thing. But I cannot control him, nor do I want to try.
Well, I'll tell you. What I've just shared with you in terms of I who shall not be named is the system linchpin.
It is, because I gave a middle name to the cop that was not a moniker of the corporation my folks gave. And they could not verify. They could not prove that I was that. So,
actually,
but when
you
I
were
went
right. When you said verify, truth, I, the self, and phi, which is sacred geometry, sacred creation. Vera, or verily, I phi, I create. So they couldn't create you. You see, it's about copyright. It's about recreation. That's why you want to have, go for R&R, rest and recreation, to go and recreate yourself in your own image again, for crying out loud, after the system has busted you down. And of course, what happens you come back and get remade in their image, right?
Oh, wow.
Oh, it's all there. You just got to, just pause.
Well, it's knowing when to put. It's knowing when to put what piece there. There's no defined, it's not like that puzzle where the piece just fits, unless you know what size of piece, and what the edges are, and what you're looking for. And so I did a thing with Laura Eisenhower, and she said, well, I don't know about what you're talking about all that, but I think what I'm feeling from you and the path you're on, you should put that stuff down and focus on your ascension. And I pondered that for a few weeks, and I just thought, I know enough to get me out of basic trouble that I myself will get into. I don't own weaponry. I don't want any. I feel like a bullet begets a gun. Yeah, I don't need it, I mean, if they want to kill me, fine. I'll go with Creator, or I'll come back. I don't care. I'm not scared of that.
Yeah, they've taken me out enough time.
Yeah, my soul's moving on. I'm not concerned with that. So, the mistake I made was I went to their theater court, and I crossed onto the stage. And that's when the security forces, they put me away for a couple hours so we could clear the courtroom. And then I went back in, and I was only looking at the clerk. I wasn't looking at the justice.
Oh, no, you got to talk to the boss.
I wasn't looking at him. I was talking to the boss, exactly. And I said, I am under threat duress here, on and for the record, on and for the record, on and for the record. I am under threat duress here, this man of Kansas, because they still had their steel clamps around my wrists behind my back. And he said, do you understand? I said, no. He said, well, your court date is so-and-so and so-and-so. And I never showed. And I've looked on their little website, and there's no value to my bond.
No, they can't touch you. That's the thing, is they need you to consent. This is the whole trick of the spiritual contract.
Yeah, that consent. I do not consent.
You must give up your free will choice to yield. And like you said earlier, the universe must and will defend itself. Right? So only when you give away your consent, and here's the biggest trap of all. When you consent to be a name that does not belong to you, you are committing fraud. You are third-party interloping in business that is not of yours. Okay?
Right.
And this is how they nailed us. And that's why they need you to commit fraud, making you a criminal, so they're in honor. Because when you admit to the name or consent to be something that's not yours, what you are saying is, I am a low-life, cheating scum criminal who likes using other people's properties for my own benefits.
Yeah.
Therefore, you are in dishonor, absolute, ab initio, since before this began, because you don't have a clue as to who you are. And that's how they got us. And that document, I who shall not be named, shows you the question to ask the court. I know that this is not my property. Is it the court's intent to aid and abet me in the commission of fraud, where I know this name has been mistakenly, there's been a mistaken identity here, has been mistakenly assumed and presumed to be me, which it's not, because I know full well my parents, in their own ignorance, convinced me, where I was wronged for not looking deeper into it, that I was a name that they had clearly given to the crown, the state, the courts. It does not belong to me. So is it the court's intent now to aid and abet me into committing a crime? There's the table in the temples turned over on its ass. Watch the courtroom clear. I've sealed one courtroom for sure over a cell phone, talking to a guy who was talking to the judge. It was great to hear the gavel, bang bang, seal the court, seal the court. That was awesome. And I've had people marched out of courtrooms. Well, I've had them on cell phones, telling them what to say, and
really?
We can't talk. Oh yeah. Hey, I had the judge bow to me. I think I might know a thing or two. I wish people would pay attention.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, they are. They do. It doesn't, just because they're not telling you doesn't mean they're not.
Well, that's a game. It's all a game, right?
Like it is, and I just so you know, I had a buddy of mine, because I look on Face Tweet, you know, and I post all this stuff, Galactic this, and you know, what's these photos from RT and wherever, what's going on in Turkey and Bangladesh and, you know, everywhere else. And I see there's one or two people will like it. But I know in my heart there are others who are reading those. And a buddy of mine called me yesterday and said, man, I read those all the time. Every one of them. You woke me up. I didn't. Dean. He even mentioned Dean Clifford. He said, I never knew, this guy's awesome, man. It's too bad he's losing trucks. And I said, yeah. I laughed, you know.
Well,
I said, but he is a leader. You know?
He is a leader, and I really don't like the fact that he's losing trucks. And I'm secretly hoping one day he actually takes the game to the next level. And I'm here to collapse the system, not to partake in it, because the system was never meant or designed to be anything but a trap. And I'm telling you, if Dean ever uses that I who shall not be named, watch.
Well, I'm going to read that. I'm going to read that definitely. I'm going to read those.
The only ID I carry is the only ID I cannot use, birth certificate. Hey, listen, no, this is the only contract that was ever sent to me. It's not me though. This is only this was to my mom and dad, and they gave this to me as proof of the fraud.
So you carry the bond? Do you carry the bond, or do you carry the Xerox copy that they gave your mom and dad at the hospital?
Well, I'm from the UK, so I had to order it. But I've got it's not. You'll never see the original, right? That's under Say All seal, right? Himself, herself,
right.
That's all.
That's in the Vatican basement there, yeah.
Yeah. It's worthless, though. That's the thing, is the spiritual power has now been removed from it. Because I know who I am. But what I do is I just I've got the copies, because that's all you ever get from the registry office, copies from the entry, and I photocopy. You know, I've got a few kicking around. I carry one with me all folded up, and if anyone ever, which won't happen, but if anyone ever did, here, this is what the government gave me. And they can't use it because it says right on it, this is not evidence of identification or identity. I was showing it. I was showing it today. Here, let me actually while I've got you, because people need to hear this. They need to finally give up the name. They need to let it go. By the way, ancient etymology for name means way. Most people don't know that. So when a cop stops somebody, they're not asking you what your name is. They're asking you what your way is. Are you of the beast or are you not? And
well, that's when I would say, whenever they would ask me, like now I know. I have a sheet. It's in my book bag that always goes with me. Even if I go down to my favorite coffee shop 2 miles away, my bag goes with me because I have my document, my paperwork in there, my questionnaire. And I know, roll up the window, crack it a half inch, blah, blah, blah. He wants license and registration. I'm going to ask him his name.
Well,
and I have that whole printout.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because you're already committing fraud if you have a license. Because that's why I wanted to bring this out.
No, I don't. I don't have a license. I have a license plate though. That's where, I'm thinking I need to file my paperwork and get that, my personalized plate from one of those plate manufacturing companies.
Yeah, or whatever. It doesn't really matter. Here's why. And this is
okay.
There is a. Did I put this on? What I'm going to do is I've got scanned copies of this. I'm going to make sure that I get them to Ninja in the next day or so and get them put up on the site because people need to see this. I'm a kindergarten kid. I love show and tell, right? Because there's no point to show somebody something and not say anything, or tell them something and not show them anything. So I like to show and tell. So here's what it says right on the bottom of this document. Okay, first thing it says, they do this backwards. I'll read the warning, which is underneath it. Warning: a certificate is not evidence of identity. Right above it says this. This is what, even if you create your own identification using the name, like your handmade stuff, picture and whatever, a lot of people do it.
Yeah.
You're still committing fraud because you're still claiming the name that was sold. Okay, so here we go. Here's what it says right on this document, guy. Caution. So that's not even a warning because they don't want to scare you too much, but they're saying caution. Be careful. There are offenses relating to falsifying or altering a certificate and using or possessing a false certificate. Crown copyright. Well, a false certificate would be, I don't know, going and getting a driver's license because you're going out of your way. You can't get a passport without a birth certificate. Typically a bank. Well, no, just get a copy of your birth certificate. They need you to commit fraud before they can interact with you in the Whore of Babylon commerce consumeria. Okay? They need you to commit the crime first. And we do.
Right. They need my consent.
Yep. Yeah, and look at the word consent. Let me give you the letter by letter first off, and I'll give you a couple of multiple breakdowns on it. So here's consent. C, the note of love, all right, which is the open, unconditional. O, which is creation itself, closed off and self-contained. N means it's mine. Okay, N is a possessive letter only. That's its purpose. It says that everything attached to it is mine. Right beside it, you have S, which is the divine feminine kundalini. Beside that, you have E, which lowercase in the mirror is yang, the dark made light. N, mine. T, the note of love. Let's take it up a notch. So we have con, se, and T. All right? Con means with or against, for or against. It means both. That's why the constitution, statute means to stand. So constitution means without standing. That's the notwithstanding clause. So anyone that uses any constitution defense is saying they don't have any standing. Of course the court's going to beat the shit out of them. It got nothing to do with them. Right? Here's the thing. I can say right to you, and you can assume and presume that I spelled it R-I-T-E. When I actually spelled it R-I-G-H-T, it just sounds the same. But you can assume whatever you want based on the sound. Right? This is why, for me, the whole game was focused and only focused on phonics. Phoenicians? Phony? Phonics? Yeah? Okay.
Right.
Okay. Con,
that's
say,
supposedly, that is my blood is Phoenician.
Well, there you go. So, and that moved from Phoenicia to Venice, Venetia, right? Venetian blinds, right? They call them Venetian blinds for a reason, guys. Okay.
Yeah.
Look at the Joker, Loki, okay? The god is a Joker. Our creation is out to have some fun. So there's con, so you're either saying with or against, with or without. Say, Latin, SE, special edition, second edition. They give it to you in Windows 98 SE, and better yet, Windows Key Row XP. It's all there. So se in Latin means himself, herself, itself. It is a trinity of self. That's when someone says, I'm going into court pro se, I'm going in for himself, herself, itself. My complete self, toto genere. That's what toto, by the way, you're in Kansas. There's a reason why you called. That's why total comes out of toto. It means all. It means in full character. Toto genere. That's why the door of God, Dorotheos, and Toto were the main characters in The Wizard of Oz, right? So now you have the letter N, which means that's the himself, herself, itself, mine with love, T. So when you give consent, you are giving the unconditional surrender to everything that is you. Best not do that.
Wow. I don't. No.
Right. Now,
I do not do that. I have not done that since,
Well,
wow.
Can we bring
since that
can we go
time
to the
when they
now?
Pardon? Go to signature, please. Yeah.
Let's go to the signature, because this one's a real clincher for everyone. Right. Where does the word signature come from? Well, let's break it up. Signet. Oh, yeah. Remember they used to use a signet ring to imprint the seal? Or the say all, S-E, space A-L? The himself, herself, itself, all? A seal is the most sacred of promises given. It is one that cannot be broken unless there's a fraud attached to it. And in this case, there is. So sorry about your under seal, because I give my information under seal too, and it trumps your bullshit because I show you the fraud. This is how you set yourself free. Now, with a signet, now look at my name. Cygnus trumps it in Skype. It was originally Ugly Duckling, went to Cygnus Rising, then Cygnus Trumpets, now it's Cygnus Trumps it. Cygnus is the constellation of the swan, which is the allegorical representation of the divine feminine grace, compassion, unconditional love. That's why they want you to give up your divine feminine. And when you give a signature, overture, that's your music, your inner beautiful music. You, the highest essence of creation itself, the intent that you create in that self becomes physically manifest when you signet assure anything. That's why there's waves, sine and cosine. That's why they want on a mortgage, they need you to sign and get someone else to co-sign it for you. They need to capture your wave essence. This is a spiritual game, and everyone's playing physical.
So even when you put the BY semicolon and then blue ink your name, that's still a signature.
Well, it's still a signature, and you're still playing in their rules. I don't. I make up my own as I go, just like they do, and they don't like me for that because I make up better rules than them. Okay. I make them own their bullshit. I think when you, I don't know if you've read anything I've ever written, but I think you'll get a handle on it rather quickly of where it's coming from. I spent most of my life as a songwriter, so I kind of got this really cool gift of learning to write and read between the lines, right? I've got to write a book in 3.5 minutes to get the whole story out, right? So I've learned to compress. That's all. That was my training. That was my training for doing what I did. And when I started writing legal documents, and I shut down courtrooms, I've shut down law offices, you name it. And every time I did, it would work once or twice, and then it would stop working because we'd uncovered another layer of the deception, so they couldn't use that anymore. It wasn't that I couldn't use it. They couldn't. That was the good part. So I looked for their next maneuver. And I was always one step ahead of them, right up to the point of my house, and that became just basically could have been a very violent outcome. But universe had me, and Sue and my girls went through mini hell, and they're safe. They hate me, but they're safe. That was the deal with the universe and me. They kidnapped me at gunpoint, and that's the story. So, but here I am. You see, because they hit me with level 2, which is low level to medium level conflict, and step 3 is if they can't get you with that, and you're still in the system, still caught in that mental trap, well, part 3 is they can take you out. They can't take me out. I'm an untouchable now. Neat, eh? So if you want to get into the untouchable realm, stand in truth. Oh, you might get you'll get a few tests here and there, but fuck or nothing.
Wow. Well, that was, just so you know, on Facebook, That was me who sent something to your Facebook page about Brett Jones of Redress Right. He moved to Puerto Rico, and he is being jailed. He's being held down there.
Well, his
I
name
don't
is
have the knowledge.
Yeah, his name is being held.
And his body, his physical, his spirit also, his physical is being held. The way I understand it. I don't have the knowledge of you and Dean, but I figured I'd pass that on.
You don't need it. You don't need it. I just have to answer something here. I'm on the air at the moment. Okay. You don't need it. You don't need it. See, here's the thing, and for me, my whole purpose was, if I'm going to do this, I want to make sure that the most brilliant intellectual brain surgeon will understand what I'm writing, as well as the teenager working at the local coffee shop. It had to be that simple, and it had to be simple. And I've been saying it for years, 3.5 years now. Lose the name, win the game. And here's the thing: once you understand who you are, and you know that it's a fraud, that the name was stolen from you, well, guess whose name it becomes again? You can't have it until you understand this. Then the name is yours. You do what you want with it. It's been what happens in an etherical sense is the name gets released, not released as in given, rejoined to it. It gets let go of that bond in the ether. The rest of the physical follows suit. You cannot change the physical. You can only change in the ethereal, because this is the copyright here. This is the physical mimic. That's why we're at effect here, because everyone's trying to be cause and do, and no, that's not how this works. You got to shut up, get deep, and get dark. That's where you change things. You change them from within, and you start changing you, and lo and behold, the physical copy of your creation starts to manifest itself. This is the law of creation, not the law of attraction, which is bullshit. Law of attraction.
Yeah, that's all from the brain. This is from the heart.
Exactly. So, you're from you, the most beautiful essence in the universe. Why do you think I want to get rid of the ego so badly? I want to see people create. I want to see them actually manifest their beautiful beingness. And getting into the present. I don't know if you caught any of that show. I'm so glad you called, man. This is great, because I'm being interviewed, boys and girls. This is awesome. I prefer this, because what you're doing is you're asking questions and bringing up the right scenarios that I can explain it in layman's terms with someone that's right in it. So this is exactly what needs to happen. Where were we going there?
Very fortuitous. I was saying about Brett Jones and the name and all. Yeah.
About the present. Let's get you in. Let's get you out of the time trap that you're in. Okay. Here's how I explain it to people. If you're looking out with your eyes open, anything you look at is already created, and you're never going to see anything in the physical realm as it is, only as it was, because it takes light, regardless if it's from the tip of your nose that you can see, or a star 1,000 light years away. It still takes light time to travel for you to see what is there. So you're always looking at the past in the physical. That's why you need to close your eyes. It's the only time you can get into the now. Okay? So once your eyes are closed, meditation. All right?
Yeah, I've been doing it.
This isn't rocket science. So now what happens is, once you close your eyes, what you've done is you're not blinded by the light anymore. The exterior poison. What you're doing is now you're going inside. And then, lo and behold, the only thing that's going to distract you is that nasty prick called thought. You know the Egyptian god that planted the doubt state? Yeah, that one? Uh-huh. That wanted to rule the universe? That one. Okay. Yeah. Well, I pronounce it thought because that's what it is.
Right.
Well,
thought, both.
I just had the thought.
Yeah.
I'm sure you
toth,
did.
Yeah.
Or toth or something. That's what I mean.
Toe the line.
Yeah. And of course, there's TH, which is referencing love, Trinity creation, of creation, love, Trinity creation. Right? So this is a God that's a jealous God that really loves himself. Okay? So let's move along. If you want to get into the present, here's how you do it. Excuse me. So now that you've decided to be now and you've closed your eyes, so now you're in your now moment, let's back you up into creation mode. here's what you need to do. Well, there's 3 monkeys. You know them. The see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. Well, the Kabbalion is pretty good, or the Emerald Tablets of Thought are pretty good, but they only tell you about those with eyes to see and ears to hear, right? Doesn't say anything about voice to ask. So I'm going to show you how to get your voice to ask. All right? I simply put it this way. I have eyes to see and ears to hear and a voice to ask, of which I am going to invoice the universe to show me the way. What do I need to see right now? Now, you could have a preconceived thought that you want answered. Then what you need to do is open your eyes and look for the clue. It will be there. And people say, well, I don't see it. Well, it's there. It's just not my fault you can't see it. And it takes a bit of practice. But you're going to start seeing coincidences after coincidences. License plates, road signs, numbers on houses, something somebody says, something you hear on the radio, a song that dials up. Something is going to tell you what you needed to hear. Because you created it in the present. You see, if we're actually in the now, we're too late. We have to get into the present. We have to become the creator of our now. And I will say I have been seeing a lot of 444, 1111, or 111, or 211, and those are the early clues to let you know that what a coincidence. No, there are none. Right? Those are I call those the kindergarten level clues that everyone gets. I had them. You got them. Everyone gets them. They'll have 12, 34, 1, 2, 3, 4, or that's typically mine. Or 321 was always a normal one for me. And 1111, of course, and what have you. Yeah, those were all early ones. And those are the things that pop out in the universe that say, hey, pay attention. Did you notice me? Did you see the coincidence? You just looked at the clock again at exactly the same time. Isn't that funny?
That's right. So, I know, it's amazing. It's quite ironic how you do it again.
Well, what I'm sharing with you right now is how to make them happen. How to make the coincidences appear magically. When you close your eyes, you're in the now. So you're still hearing things, and that, again, you're hearing everything as it was, never as it is. The only thing you can hear as it is you. In the now. That's 0 point.
All right, well, I will start using earplugs when I meditate then, and an eye cover.
Yeah, one of the things that
blinding light that might come in from the sides. Yeah.
And I don't know if you've ever heard me talk. I talk about it fairly regular. Urine therapy. You want to crack your pineal open like in a day or two? There it is. Get on your way. That's your liquid gold. That's your pissing your life away. That is actually purified, strained blood ether. That is pure life force. Where else does life come out of? Does it come out of your ass? No. That's where the waste goes. Right. Only life comes out of the reproductive organs. You would never mix waste with life, would you? That would be senseless.
No, Okay.
Now.
So you're saying, okay, so let me make sure that I overstand you in that. We speak freely. We know the spells and we know they're broken. It's more of a pun in this. I can say that to you, and it's fun. But I know people are listening. Let me make sure I understand you. So then, put the mind thing mask on my eyes. Put the earplugs in. Quiet the mind. Get rid of all that. Thank any negative energy that may come up or any thoughts. Get quiet, and then ...
Yeah, get 0 point, and what happens then? Here's a question I like to ask people. Have you ever just been lying down, say just maybe ready to go to sleep, and it feels like an electrical shock hits your head? Or something makes you twitch, and it's like an electric shock? That's a download. That is the lightning that Jesus spoke of. It will come in the twinkling of an eye, like a lightning bolt.
And I've been getting those lately. Okay.
Yeah. This is what I'm getting people to, and it manifests differently, but for everyone. But that is something that will happen, and it will happen when you're not expecting it. That's when you get the. Think of it like maybe 1,000 gigabyte download in that instant. That's what it is.
Well, I've been having more lucid dreams.
Good. And if you
Real
want better
ones,
if you want better ones and longer ones, then get your ass outside, because when you're inside, you're in that web of the 60 hertz cycle,
right?
Which actually blocks the pineal's ability to allow you to get into REM delta dream state sleep.
Right.
Okay. So of course six is the hex, because a hexagon makes a cube. That's why when someone casts a spell, they call it, you've been hexed. Yeah, you've been boxed. Not sixed, you've been boxed. Right? So it's all there, and that's the thing, is I could actually be on the air 8 to 10 hours a day just talking about this every day, because I am so lustful about getting this information out to people. You see, I didn't give up that vice. I lust for the truth. I'm a truth whore.
And you know what? I really feel that I have been too. But for me, with this Gemini thing going on, it is a lack of focus. There's so much information out there that I am all over the board.
Okay, here's a great video for you to watch. It really helped me. Bill Donahue does a beautiful series. Hiddenmeanings.com is his website. He does a beautiful series on the zodiac. Very right along the same lines as Santo, but very different. Like when you put Santo and Bill together, when you put those two guys together and see the layers that one has and the other one has, and you put them all together, that's what I do. It's stunning. But there's a watch the Gemini zodiac, and it will explain about Canis Major and Canis Minor and the hair traveling between the left and right hemispheres. What you need to do is calm the hair down. And you're actually, and I'm speaking as a Gemini 2-1, listening to you right now, is your rabbit is really under control. And I'm not going to plant any seeds for you, but my feeling is you'll catch this really quick. And as soon as you do, when you can still those thoughts, because the hardest thing for a Gemini to do is what it's supposed to do. You're given the clue, Gemini, I think. Okay, well, what's the real clue? I don't think. Just like Cancerians, theirs is I feel. What they need to learn is how to not feel. Right?
Excellent. You said that the other night. You said that, or Santos said that the other night. Last night, when I listened to your Saturday show. I think
that was Friday night, and because I brought that up to Santo, because he was going around the wheel, and I said, we need to do the mirror of it, too. And we got to do every one of the friggin' signs, not just our own. Right? So you got to learn to see it. 12 clues are there. I am not. I have, cut in half. No, I have not. Sorry, I put the elevators. Right, I don't cut shit. I'm not duality. I'm not cutting stuff in half anymore. Gemini, I think not. Cancer, I feel not. Leo, I will not. What's the hardest thing for a Leo to do? I know I have a Leo ascendant. Okay, my oldest daughter's a Leo. I will not. Not a chance. That's a real struggle, right? And all of your part of your zodiac, your design, D sign of sine wave, tells you exactly what you need to do. And I like to reference the Mayan, the Western, or the zodiac, Santo. Chinese, I'm a dragon. What year are you born?
66.
Oh, so you are a horse.
Right.
Okay, so you're a Gemini horse. And learn the characteristics of the horse, and you'll understand it. It will really help. I promise you. Look at your Mayan sign, date of birth. MayanMagix.com. That's Mayan, MAJIX.com. And just pop your birth date in there, and it will tell you what your you know what mine is? It's not too accurate. Duality 2, Kawak, which is spelled Kawak or Cauac. It's a mirror of itself. It's what's termed a radar, or I can't think of the word for it. It reads the same way both ways, right?
Oh.
And of course, Kawak is storm.
Anagram, yeah.
Is it anagram?
No, it's not anagram.
I'll figure it out, because Ninja and I were talking about this the other night, and I couldn't remember it then. It's driving me nuts, and because I thought it was an anachronism, but it's not. An anachronism is something that is out of time, like finding a wristwatch in buried in a cave from Stone Age, right? That's an anachronism. But there's duality storm. Yeah, I kind of live up to that. I'm, and of course my Mayan sign or symbol is white solar mirror. So everything tells me in my design what I am. I had all my clues given to me. I just had to see them for myself. Like your piece of the puzzle, as with everyone else, you have a very, very specific piece of the puzzle, your own purpose, that which drives you. And when you get on it, nothing stops you. Not Rome, not London, not D.C., direct current, not a chance. And those are my targets. I don't talk to corporals. It's a waste of time. Give me the ones that want to claim to be ruler. I'll have fun with them. I go, no way,
you have to.
Yeah, I'm that.
This is excellent. This is most
having fun?
fortuitous and meant to be. Oh, always.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, Ninja, how are you, hon? Good to have you.
Yeah, no, I thought I'd jump in just to clarify the word that was eluding us.
What
Nav
is it?
John has put it in. It's palindrome.
Palindrome. Thank you. Yes,
that
palindrome.
Was from Nav. Yeah, I couldn't think of it, and then he put it in, so there you go.
Oh, look at that. Palindrome. I'll break that one apart and show you some magic. Well, you got... Well, look at the name of Rome. What are they saying? Every time you say Rome, here's what you're saying. Rome. Get it? Ro, right. Sacred spirit breath. Creation, Gemini, spirit, lungs, ring a bell? Okay, there you go.
Yes.
Ro, which means spirit breath, which is the ebb and flow of creation. And of course, Om. What is Om? Get that vibe in there so it gets created.
Uh-huh.
So that's why all roads do lead to Rome. But you're it. You're Rome. They make you think it's somewhere in Italy. It's not. It's inside you. You're it. And it has to be the mirror, because Roma in the mirror is amor, love.
Love.
Neat, eh?
Excellent.
It's all there.
Excellent.
And
well, it's also knowing how to see it, and knowing when you're ready, you see it.
Oh yeah, and I think every night I go through not to this intensity all the time, but I do like planting the seeds of letting people see what the words are. Like, what are the 7 C's? Well, that's the 7 loves, right? The Holy See. SEA? Maybe.
Okay. Right.
And what is SEA? Let me tell you what it is. The divine feminine kundalini, the S, the spiral pulled out, right? Which is the other half of infinity. We put it in the mirror. And of course you have EA, which my daughter gave me at a very young age as my clue as to how to crack the linguistic letter by letter code. EA is 6-9 in the mirror, yin yang. So that's what broke it apart for me. And of course, music gave me do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. And the only thing that can conquer the law society is love. Ti, the note. Admire all ti, to bog down all love. Admire, bog down, all ti, the note of love. That was actually one of the very first words I ever broke apart was admiralty. See what I mean? It's all when we stop and listen, take our time. We're in such a hurry. We want drive-through. That's why they have drive-throughs. They want you. You remember the days when you actually had to go up? You're 60, so you're
you had to go in. You had to
get up off your fat lazy ass and go in.
Yeah.
And you put
go
your
in
order
and eat. Yeah. And it was actually real, probably beef at the time, but yeah.
Yeah, it could have been. Who knows, right? And then
cloned. Who knows? Yeah.
You'd be like 45 minutes to an hour, and you come out, you're happy as all get out. Now you have a drive-through, and you see the counter going a minute 25, 26, and by the time it hits a minute 40, you're pissed because you want your burger now. And that's what they've done to condition us. They get us into this drive-through mentality. Like, people come to me looking for drive-through truth. Sorry, this burger takes a little while. I don't eat meat, but this burger category takes a little time to cook. It's real sirloin, you know?
Yeah, it's the real deal. That's right.
So, you know, be prepared
Quality
to sit
takes
down.
time.
Yeah, sit down at the table, have a glass of wine, put your feet up. You know, to sit around and talk. Don't worry, this truth is being prepared for you with the utmost unconditional love and care. You will enjoy it. And also, be careful how you eat it, because it may choke you as well. Good and evil and everything. So the mirror is always ever present. And the ego is that always ever present mirror to show you who you are. Not who you thought you were, called the ego. That's your mirror. So, you want a nice looking mirror? Then put the ego aside. And then you'll start making that ego in your own image instead of that which was created for you. I think that's fair. Take some time for you. You're the most beautiful essence in the universe. Why the fuck wouldn't you? Seriously.
That's right. Yeah, no, true. Why wouldn't you? Yeah.
Why wouldn't you spend time with the most glorious being in the universe? You.
Yeah. Yeah. I have been more and more, but yeah. No, go ahead. You're the coach here.
Oh no, I'm just the messenger. I just remind people. That's all. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. I'm not telling anyone anything they don't know. All I'm doing is re-accessing, right? AC, tax, accessing, not taxing, the universe. You can't tax that which is given. You can't tax a gift. Take the hint in the legal mimic, right?
True.
It's all there. Just look at the mirrors. If you start seeing the allegories of what is really being shown behind the curtain, get your Toto Jeannery out. Toto was the one that pulled the curtain back, opened up the door of God, Dorothy. And all you had to do was get rid of the straw man. Huh? Tin Man, what was he looking for? Oh, right, he was looking for a heart. And, of course, the lion, he needed to have the courage to walk that road with Dorothy. And when all appeared to be lost at the very end, what did the witch say to Dorothy? The last to go will the first three go before her. Of course, she had to get rid of the mindless one, put the brain back. It was always there. Yeah. It was just mindless. The heart was always there. I mean, look what the wizard gave his gifts. He never gave a damn thing. He just said, you already knew this. You already had this. You already felt this. And Glinda confirms it at the end. She says, you know, you had this in you all along. You just had to find your own way. And that's all we're doing, Dorothy. Clicking the heels together 3 times. No place like Om. H, Divine Trinity, Om. There's no place like Om. So go home for a little bit. Close your eyes. Go home. Go visit yourself. You're beautiful.
That's right. That's right. You are beautiful as well. You're beautiful as well, Kate. Thank you.
Send me a postcard. I want to know what it's like at your home. You know? And here's the thing. Right. There's no postal service in infinity. It just is. Right? That's why the Universal Postal Union had to be the highest court in the world, claiming the universe, no less, you pricks. And where is it based? Bern. Yeah, Bern, baby. Bern. Switzerland. Right? Yeah. Burn the house down.
Yeah.
So I am. I'm burning the house down. I think it's great.
I do too.
Yeah, the Pharaohs.
Let it crumble.
Yeah, the Pharaohs don't know what them right now. Oh, Pharaohs, I think they pronounce it. No.
Right.
Phi, sacred creation.
Yeah, creation, Phi, right.
And then spirit breath.
That much I have learned that, yeah. And that's what I've been doing is sucking in and just looking at and reading what I can, you know, like Nassim and Greg Braden and what these guys are
great stuff,
breaking it wide open, and I just love it. And you know, it's like I've watched that Nassim Haramein in Rogue Valley, whichever that was. That's a 7+ hour video. I've seen it, I think, 3 times.
Yeah, and you'll always pick up something new.
Always.
And
it's just like watching Santo, you know?
Yeah.
I have to stop. I have to pause his and go, wait, do I understand? Do I even comprehend what he's talking about?
Do you know the only different thing I bring to the table? There's only one thing different. I bring the mirror, the spiritual mirror. Because one of the things that I found, and I've learned so much from so many, I am the net result of everyone and everything I've ever experienced. So, see, this is the joy of it. I don't have to claim a damn thing. What I do have, in my perspective, is one little piece of the arsenal that I think is really handy. And that's, being Gemini, we're spirit. That's the only sign of the zodiac that is, because rules of lungs, the spirit breath, the ebb and flow, doesn't make us special. It just gives us a particular role to play. So I just stepped into it and said, okay, well, I'm the messenger, and I'm the only one that can actually, based on the design, built to do this. Everyone can do this because everyone's got Gemini in it. Everyone's got every sign in them. But we're specifically in this realm with our this was the purpose that we came to do. If I was Taurus or Leo or whatever else, I would have a different purpose in that design, none less important than any other, right? So the only thing that I bring to the table that's different is the same information from an ethereal perspective. That's it. That's it. I'll show you as above, so below.
That's just as important as what it's all. Everything is everything. Everything is one, and that's just as important, if not even more. I think it. Well, you don't have to know. You don't have to understand about what Greg or Nassim is talking about.
I love
your spirit. I do too. But that's just the Curious George in me being satisfied, and I think the spirit is far more important. What you do, what you're doing with yourself, the meditation. If you have time, what is it? If you have time to breathe, you have time to meditate.
Oh, yeah. And
there you go. So
and look what our world does to us. Have you heard me break down physical yet?
Oh, here we go. No, I haven't.
Okay, here's what happens when you get caught in the physical. See, I don't follow the rules of how a letter sounds as it is trained into me by how I was taught to say it. I look at it and I go, oh, well, the Y can sound like an I. The SI can sound like psi. And, of course, the sound is at the end is cull. So let's say it a different way. Let's go on phonics, shall we? Or better yet, we got hooked by phonics. So here's what I do. I go, oh, neat. Physical can be said phi, psi, cull. Oh, isn't that interesting? Phi, sacred geometry, psi, spirit, cull, harvest. Of course, if you're trapped in the physical, your spiritual sacred creation is going to be harvested. And they do that when you piss in the toilet. They've been stealing our literal ether, our blood. That's how they've been vampiring. That's what this information's in the Raining Cats and Dogs. You'll love it. They've been doing that on all levels, and what I've been doing is just picking away at every way they've been doing it. And because here's the thing, this is why you and everyone listening is so important. Because when you click on an epiphany, you just clicked for the whole fucking universe. Yeah. I don't have to think of that one because you did. And I'm going to think of mine, and you don't have to because I did. So we do this together.
I did it.
Right. You're the 100th monkey, so am I. Everyone is. 100 always breaks down to 1, right? You are the one.
Right.
And if but one shall awaken? Oh, wait a minute. That means all of us.
All.
And it only takes one to awaken to one epiphany for all to get it. All for one and one for all. See how important you are?
Yep. I'm getting it more and more.
Oh, yeah, this game is so cool. And this is the whole thing about, when you get the resonance with people, what you're doing is this is what's been happening. I said earlier in the show, people have been tagging me. It says, "Oh, you said just what I was thinking," and I said, "Well, no, I said it because you were thinking it. I'm just the conduit. I'm just the messenger. I just download and of course I'm uploading all the time too because it's instantaneous. You download, upload at the same time. It's a constant flow of creator. It doesn't stop, right? But it is an ebb and flow, right? That's one of the laws of creation: ebb and flow, law of correspondence. Right. So, I can't drill it home enough to people, but that tricky. We started talking about the tricky little bastard at the very beginning, and that is the only thing that stops people from getting it, because they get caught up in the dramas. They get caught up in, he said, she said. Who fucking cares? What?
Yeah, no, I don't care. I don't care about it. Yeah.
you know the only thing that can be offended on this planet? Your ego. You can't be. And the only time I can be offended is if I ever allow it. And I won't. I just look at it and go, well,
it's a choice. That's its choice. And again, that's what I say to these people when I'm coaching them. I'm telling them, there's only two emotions, love or fear. Which are you going to choose?
The program will always automatically go, well, I'm afraid to answer, you see? So they're already choosing. That's why it's so difficult. Just plant the seeds. That's all you can do. Just plant the seed, man, and make a joke of it. People will remember, put it in the joke. You know what's really funny, guys? I get bills in the mail, and look what I'm doing. I'm putting bills in my wallet.
Yeah,
walk away.
Exactly, yeah.
And walk away. Just plant the seed and walk away and just go titter, titter, titter. Better yet, my favorite tactics is cookie jar effect. Oh, no, I could tell you this, but I'm going to put it over here. You can't have one of these cookies out of the jar.
Right.
Then I walk away.
Don't look in that briefcase.
Yeah, right. And where does the kid go? Straight to the jar, straight to the briefcase. What's in there? Oh. So plant the seeds, Pandora's box.
Yeah.
It's so very, very easy. And have fun with it, right? And know that you're going to get reactions from people. But I tell you, someone calls you up at 4:30 in the morning and said, "Really? Okay, well, I'm going to write out a late slip for them, and I'll give it to them when I get there." Okay, click.
Okay, is that okay?
Remind them of their school program.
Yeah. Good call. Very good call.
It helps break it. As soon as you remember these things, they will break them.
Yeah, I get in, I'm vibrating high when I go in, and by the time I leave, I feel that I am taken to a burnt marshmallow,
Oh, yeah.
I can bring the light. I can bring so much light for so long, and I do my best, and I'll step outside when it's not busy, and I'll meditate for just 3 minutes just to get me back, and I'll come in, and I'll be strong and good, and then I feel like, the linemen aren't blocking anymore, and I'm getting sacked left and right and beaten up. So,
yeah, well, that's why they give recesses at court. You know what recess means? Well, Re is the ancient name for Ra, sun god, or your light.
Reincarnate? No.
Well, cess in Latin means tax. So do you really want your due process in law? I didn't think so either.
Huh. No, not at all.
And now I'm going way back to the early days of busting stuff apart. This is how I used to write documents, and I'd outline stuff, and I'll tell you, the courts did not like the shit I put in. Not at all. And I only did it. I did it a few times for me, but the judge bows to sovereign. I mean, I was only in the game about 4 months, if that. And that's the joy of being a writer. See, it was already there. I just had to, and of course I'm insatiable, and I was already at it. 12, 14, 16 hours a day researching, reading, and my memory's pretty good. So I would start putting stuff together, and then of course I'd be looking over other, legal type documents, and of course even the typeset of a court document is set up so that spaces are put in, so there's not real sentences in there. So they're dodging bullets that way too. So it's quite funny. Oh, speaking of rabbits, there's 2 of them out there right now. Means we're on the right track. So.
Good. Well, I appreciate it. I'll let you go get the others, and man, blessings to you and much love. Love, not much, just love to you.
Just love, infinite
love. To you all. Yeah, just love to you.
I'll leave your line open. I do when people call in, so feel free to jump in. And I guarantee you, though, this has been something that people needed to hear tonight again. And this is why I love when people call in. Thank you so much, because what I can
You're
do
welcome.
then.
Thank you.
This is how I can resonate back and forth and cover real scenarios in real time with real people. We're all real.
Present.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Real
help. Big help. Yeah. I'm already online, so you don't have to leave it on. I'll catch the rest of the show.
Okay. Well.
And also download the rest, because all the information, I want to make sure I
Okay, well, I'll tell you right now, we've got, if you get off the phone right now, you've got 2.5 minutes to Skype in, or just stay on the call and listen in. And I'm just hoping other people put their hands up as well, and get them involved. We got we might as well do my shout out now. Great big thank you. Wow, 2 hours just like that. Isn't that neat? Yeah, time flies when you're in real time. By the way, it starts to shorten. That's what happens when you find time shortening. It's because you're vibrating high and in the now. So time starts to just disappear. It's beautiful. Yeah, so a big shout out to criticalmassradio.co.uk, Paul Giovanni, Lisa, and the crew at Critical Mass. Thank you guys so much for setting such a beautiful table for us to sit around and have a truth fest and pig out. You know, everyone brings something to the table. You put this on this table, everyone gets to eat it because it's an infinite. And here's the thing, though: take a bite of that truth, it becomes you are what you eat. And like I said, you will either be nourished by it or you will choke on it. Catch 20. So that's just a little buddy. So there you go. And I didn't get your customary calling. What do people normally reference you with?
They call me RC.
RC. There you go.
Yeah.
There, that works for me. Look at that. Rochi. Uh-huh. Are you Christ here? Thank you for telling me.
I don't know. I have not.
We're all Christ or we're all Antichrist. There is no external Antichrist. As in, so without. So while people are busy going, Obama's the Antichrist, Prince William's the Antichrist. Yeah, okay, sure. So are you. Best get over it, huh?
Yeah, I'm not buying it.
No, I don't buy the external illusion.
No.
Can't sell me love. That one, yeah. No, I'm not buying it either. And that's a thing too. And welcome to the Untouchable Realms. You're armor-plated, man. Next level coming up.
Bring it on, baby. I'm eating this
so
up.
There. We are so there.
And
it's just getting more indicative every single minute of every single moment of present now. All right, guys, better call in. We got less than 10 seconds if you want to be part of the after. And if not, well, you got the archives too, so there you go. Want to go down here. Go ahead, go ahead, you're still in.
No, leave me on. I'd love to be part of that after.
Oh, yeah, you're in. As soon as I open there's Miranda. For Christ's sake, put your hand up, Miranda. I haven't seen you in ages. Where have you been? Oh, and there's Colleen. Good, because I wanted to get your phone number, because I actually have a Skype credit. I can call you. Just let me grab a pen. Miranda, how are you doing?
Hello, darling.
Oh, my God, where have you been? Did you get my I miss you note?
No, I didn't get your miss you note.
Okay.
But you got my Mayan, you got the Mayan book. I'm so glad. I sent you that for your birthday.
That was you!
Yeah.
Oh, my God. They're powerful. Like, holy shit.
I know. I just knew you'd love it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Love it, yeah.
Oh my God! And you ordered it on my birthday. You're such a sweetie.
I know. Well, I so should have thought about it prior because I didn't realise how long it took. It took ages.
Oh, that's okay.
But you got it in the end. You got it when you were supposed to get it, so that was cool.
Yeah, I got it exactly.
The show tonight, and that dude RC. I think you're brill. Yay.
Hey, there you go.
He is real. He's very real.
No, I'm telling you, great job. I got to write down. What do we got? Something to write on. I should have brought something to write on, huh? I know what I'll do. I'll just write it on my mouse pad. I just want to get Colleen's number because I wanted to give her a call. Oops, come on. I don't want to write it on the birthday. We'd have to print it out again. Pain in the ass. Here, I know. I've got a business card I can write on. That's busyness, right? So how you been there, Miranda?
I've been good. I've just been clearing clutter, sorting out my life, sorting out me.
I kind of figured that because there was that sort of quiet energy about you. Not online. I'm invisible. And
it's been very tiring.
Oh yeah.
But
any new lexigrams?
No, I haven't done anything like that. I've put all my energy into clearing, cleaning, decluttering, and gardening.
Now I know you meant what you said. when there's no lexigrams going on, then I know you actually took time for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm trying to clear this space because I'm really looking forward to spending weeks just with my head down and going for it, because I've got some stuff sort of swelling up in the back of me. But I need to have a nice clear space to do it.
Guess what the very first card I drew from the Mayan deck was?
Oh, I don't know. Which one?
Realm Shift.
Ooh. Oh, well, that wasn't huge or anything then.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I shared that was Realm Shift and Emish.
Oh, okay. They're quite strange, aren't they?
Oh, well, they're beautiful. They speak my language. Ask Ninja. I read the actual cards out to Ninja, and it's like I'm standing there, literally at a couple of points, almost in tears, going, "I knew this. I knew this. This is what I needed to fix. I knew this, right?" And sometimes you got to hear it from yourself, sent to you by yourself, in order to get it.
Yeah.
You know. So you have no idea the gift you sent that day.
Well, it's my great pleasure, and I'm so glad you will enjoy them.
Oh my, beyond enjoying. So, hey, Ninja, you still there? Give her a sec.
Hi, yeah, I'm here. Hi, Miranda.
Hey, honey bunny.
Honey bunny.
Honey bunny. Well, yeah, you're a rabbit. She can call you that.
She can.
So, how accurate were those cards that night, Ninja?
Oh, that was just mental. That was crazy accurate. I was like, well, I should have just muted, really, because I was exclaiming every 10 seconds, oh, like that.
Yeah, it was pretty wild, so I really enjoyed it. And, of course, I did a card spread before, when I got back and asking my question, and what cards came up? The Chariot, number 7, and, of course, the Homespun Tunic. So it's, again, I know my experience on it, and I know the question, I know the intent that was put behind it, and the joy, once you begin to trust yourself and everything in your universe, everything can be used as a tool, a guide, be it nature, be it runes, be it tarot, be it pendulum, I don't give a shit. Whatever floats your boat and sinks your ankh, or that's what you need to do. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's Canada Day, so all the corporate employees are going to be out at their company party tonight, being good little employees and good little slaves to the master called Whore of Babylon, Consumeria. Sorry, I'm not with Sumeria anymore. I kind of left that shit behind, as well as the phonies. I'm shutting up now. Yeah. I think I'm on a bit of a roll tonight, so there you go. That's what you started, Darcy. Thank you.
Hey, it's Randy, but I thought we were still on. I'm still in tune with this thing of privacy. Ever since they stole that money, you know.
Yeah, but there's no privacy here anymore, and what I'm giving out are the keys to the kingdom. This is how you shut it down.
So if they wanted you shut down, they would have.
Oh, are you kidding me, man? Well, here's the thing. I'll give you an ethereal experience that I had. I've had some pretty wild things that if someone had come to me and told me this is what they experienced, I'd be, especially 3-4 years ago, I'd be going, where's the guys with the white coats, right? This one night, this one experience, and it was, I think a day or two after, it was a couple of weeks, because I already went down to the res and had come back, and Sue had already moved, of course, and but I was out on the back deck, and I just had this, okay, I'm going to hand all this back to that entity, which was the cop, Craig Nye, dark little shetty, soulless entity, looking to feed. That's all they do. They look to feed. And, of course, sent out by the other one, his boss, the chief, looking to feed as well. So, anyway, I just threw back everything. I said, hey, golden rule, I wish upon you everything, 1,000-fold of what you intended for me, because I love you that much. Because if that's what you intended for me, that must be what, under the golden rule, what you wish for. So I grant that to you 1,000-fold. That night I was sleeping. It was about 2, maybe 3 in the morning. And in my dream there was this dark shadow over me, choking me, and I could see myself like I was in the bed, but I was in the dream. So I had an internal view at the same time of me, and it was this shadow was grabbing my leg and was dragging me across the bed. And I woke up looking at this dark shadow that was choking me, literally dragging me across the bed. I was physically moving across the bed. And I just looked at it. Of course, the first thing is, what the fuck? And then, oh, it's you. That's the best you can do? And just like that, it was gone. And I'll tell you, that was the last time I was ever on their radar. Because that was in April of last year. In August of last year, a couple of Goonies from Guelph came to that address looking for me. And I was gone months from then. That was the last place that was on their radar. And of course, they're out of jurisdiction. What are they doing in a different town?
Yeah.
And looking for me where I was like 5 months prior. Because that's the last place they could see me. I'm not on their radar anymore. At all. That's what happens when you lose the fear. You'll never see cop lights. You'll never see them because they can't see you. They need to feed on that energy.
And that's actually what I had meditated on, was that not that the cops would not pull me over.
Have you seen Celestine Prophecies?
Yes, and that's what I had meditated on, was the fact that they would not see me. They would not recognize me. They would not look at me, look for me. That I would be able to travel. My right of travel would never be abated.
Ever. And what the end scene in Celestine Prophecies, for those that haven't seen it, there's a group of people that have finally got into the untouchable zone, and they were vibrating so high that these soldiers or whatever that had come into their camp couldn't physically see them. But it was an allegory. This is not a physical game, okay? There was a spiritual representation of becoming untouchable in the armor of truth. And what it's saying there, allegorically, is that when you finally choose truth and you know who you are, you fall off the radar. They cannot see you anymore. You don't exist in their dimension. Literally.
Now that makes complete sense.
It's all allegory here. Just look for the, when you see it done in the physical, go spiritual with it. What does that mean in a spiritual sense? What would a mystic see? And that's what mysticism's all about. Mist? Yeah.
The fog, yeah.
Yeah, what did we miss in the mist? Oh, we must have.
Or what do we miss?
What
one. Do we not see? Yeah.
Oh, look, they missed me. Get it?
Yeah.
The clues are all there. It's all there. And that's the joy of this. You can sit around and play with it. Just think of different words and sound them out differently. Remember the joke? I put the incorrect emphasis on the wrong syllable, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what you do with it. I mean, these are all clues. The creator is a jokester. I mean, the 0 card in tarot is the Fool, the innocent child, the Fool, and in my deck it's Percival. So, and that's who the homespun tunic's about. So it is those, and I'm really glad because I had stepped away from the tarot for a while, foolishly. But now I have an even better understanding of the power contained. Now that I've got the present concept, now I can pre-create things. What do I need to see? Am I on? And you can ask yourself the questions now. Am I on the right track? What do I need to see? And lo and behold, the answer is right there for you if you can see it. Or, if you like music, watch music videos. Your answers are there. If you like cartoons, the answers are there. If you like history books, they're there. If you like law books, they're there. It's everywhere. Everything is a fractal within everything. It's a fractal within everything. Nassim Harris.
Yeah, everything it's in that Fibonacci sequence. It's all right in there. It is
Everything
also
is.
connected. Yeah, I get that. I used to have this, I guess when I was a kid it was a nightmare for a spell, but now I know it's just a vision. I don't know what it means yet, but maybe I do. I haven't realized it. It is, you've seen any film by Lionsgate, or rather for them, movie by Lionsgate, they have all these gears of different sizes and shapes intertwining with one another. And that was nearly exactly what my vision would be when I was a kid. And then I didn't have it so much, and then I remember a few years back having it again, and was when I woke up, I was awakened by it, actually. And I remember going back to when I was a kid. And I remembered, and I felt like a kid at the moment. I had a little tinge of fear, and I went, no, there's nothing to be afraid of. And I looked around. Pardon?
No, I'm just...
Yeah,
this is
you're
awesome.
listening, right.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what that means. I think what it was telling me maybe was that it's all connected. So all these gears are turning this other thing that you don't need to be a part of, or you are part of this thing. You are part of this gear that is going around. I don't know yet. I've been meditating on. That's one of the other things I've been meditating on, is what my truth is to take out of that.
Well, again, that you're
out of
just ponder it and look at all the things that you've done in your life, and it will trigger. I'll give you an example. When you were talking about machines there, I mean, my handle on air and online, everyone knows me.
Well, that's the thing. I've looked
Kate of
for
Gaia.
machines in there, and I've never seen machines. I've only seen the gears.
I'm trying to give you your clue.
Oh, okay, I'll be quiet.
No, you don't have to be quiet. I'm just trying to give you a clue. My tag online is Kate of Gaia. What are my initials? K-O-G.
Or K-O-G, yeah.
What does that spell?
Cog in the... Oh, God. Hello.
Welcome to the machine. That's why I was laughing.
Hello.
You're in the machine.
Welcome to
Got it.
the
machine. Okay,
good.
Yeah, it's just a coincidence, though. It's don't look here. Go elsewhere.
No, I'm not going to watch The Wall again to get my answers. No. I mean, there's some good stuff in there, but no, I'm not going to. Yeah.
Right on. And we
roll the big Fatiman.
Exactly, and I'm so glad Colleen just jumped in here. Say hi to RC.
It's Randy, by the way.
Randy, okay. Whatever you
want,
doesn't matter.
Randy.
Hi, everybody.
How are you?
Hi, Randy. I'm good.
Hi.
I was thinking, Kate, when he's talking about that and his dream and you know what it all means, thinking of Cloud Atlas.
Oh, my God.
Everything's connected, and oh, my God is right. God does.
Yeah. Find the bouncing comets and spot old Georgie if you can.
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't seen it all. I saw it on.
Oh, you saw part
site,
of it.
Well, on a site called Megashare, and the first third was in English, and then it got to this Russian part.
Oh, here.
And there was no. It was on Megashare.com, and I didn't feel like paying the other part of the cabal on the West Coast cabal any money, so or any more fake money. So
yeah,
I'm just checking.
Any more of my hard-earned spirit. Pardon me.
Yes. Yeah, I've been watching it too on. It says VIOOZ, and it's no charge. VIOOZ.co/movies.
Yeah, actually, 2 movies that I get off that site. Once I get your Skype, I can sort you out and give you all sorts of links and docs and everything else. That's why I want people to connect on Skype, because we just zing everything around in light speed. But that site here, let me tell you what the actual site is. It's VIOOZ.com. And I've got 2 links saved here. One's The Wizard of Oz, and it's in high definition. And I've got King Arthur from 2004, which is exceptional for allegories. So, well, I mean, Wizard of Oz, and there's a couple, but Wizard of Oz is probably top of my list for allegories. Cloud Atlas is right up there. Oblivion is like way up there. But you see, these are the things that resonate with me, because I resonate with these things, and I've always looked, deeper into them. It's like Star Wars is literally stir or divine feminine wars, and it's telling the story of what's the Emperor, the evil patriarchal that's trying to control and manipulate creation itself when it needs only be a part of it to make creation work, right? So it's glorious. What did Luke have to do? He ended up having to go kill his own dark side, right? In the original first movie, he ended up killing Darth Vader. The helmet comes off, and who is it? That was his ego. That was the allegory of slaying. In order to find peace within, you must get rid of the chattery little cane, so that you can be able. You're not walking with a cane anymore because you're fully able to do so. Cain male, Abel female. Your divine feminine. Your divine masculine is Cain. And I can show you how both are good and evil. That's the trick, because people get caught in this duality of good or evil, and they never leave it. And in that is judgment, and in that is pure and only can be ego. Because the divine pure you does not judge. It cannot. You cannot judge creation. It's perfect. Only the ego can judge itself in this game, and it's just a game. It's a bastard of a game sometimes, and some days I just really, really hate it. And some days I just absolutely adore it. I go with the flow. Whatever universe says, I'm good, And I have to let go. And here's my test, too. I have to let go of my own expectations, my wants, my desires. Because that is ego. Actually wanting a bed to sleep in is ego. So I have to let that go.
When I moved from L.A., went back, wanted to be with friends, I moved back to Atlanta, and I was in Atlanta for about 11 years before I went to L.A. for 12, and then went to Atlanta for a year and a half, and then I figured, well, I'm just going to go back to Wichita, Kansas. My brother has MS, owns 3 restaurants. He's not in a wheelchair or anything, and I figured, I don't know what's going to happen the next few years, but I figure I'm single. I've lived a pretty fun life, and I should just go back and be with family. So that's why I'm back here, and for the first 4 or 5 months, 6 months, I had no bed. I wasn't going to live with mom and dad. They're 85. Me coming in at 3 a.m. is not cool, Not that I drink or anything, but, so I had no bed. I just got a futon. I was sleeping on a floor with 3 furniture blankets as my padding between the wood. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a futon is luxury for some people, too.
Oh,
that's the way I looked at it. That's the way I looked at it. I have 500 and some square feet, and I don't use, right now I can only use 5 square feet at a time? Maybe.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you my...
Do yoga, I'm using a little more, but that's about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, here's my allegory. In solitary confinement, I spent 28 days sleeping on a very uncomfortable slab of concrete with a 1-inch thick, we can't even call it, it was more of a mat with a maybe 2.5-inch thick, what they would refer to as a pillow, a sheet, and a blanket. Okay, so I moved up from there. I went all the way up to, I actually went up to a bed for a couple of weeks. And then, right back down to the floor again. Hardwood floor. That sues. I mean that literally. I actually had to grab stuff from outside. That's how much fun I've had. It's been great. And then I went back to a bed again. And then I went to a sleep on the ground and using lawn chair mats. Sleeping in a tent. I was in a tent all last summer. And then I came back, graduated to a bed for a little while, and then now I've got a 5-inch thick couch cushions on the floor. So, so you look at the ebb and flow, and it's. I guess if I've graduated all the way to a 5-inch thick couch cushions, I'm going to be in a 4-poster, and I'm actually going to have someone with me. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Are you still there, Kate?
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
For now.
Yeah.
I'm letting go of all expectations. And there's other things, a lot more behind the scenes than most people could even imagine, but it all makes sense. And that's I'm going to be working on you remember Prometheus Bled, the poem?
Mhm.
Okay, well, I'm going to be working on a follow-up called the Empty Scabbard. So it's going to have lots of really neat little twists and turns on it. I haven't started it yet, but there's this beautiful energy about it, and as soon as
say that word again.
The empty scabbard. You keep a dagger in a scabbard.
Scabbard, the empty scabbard.
Yeah, a scabbard is like a sheath for a knife.
Empty scabbard.
And it's got both meanings to it, right? Why? So the question that's going to be asked is, why is the scabbard empty? And it's all about choice. And what choices you make with the empty scabbard. Is it because you used the knife to stick someone in the back, or is it because you threw the knife away once and for all? You see all the assumption and presumption that can be made with an empty scabbard? It's like
the judgment.
Exactly. A quarrel, most people don't know that a quarrel is actually an arrow. That's what a quarrel is. That's why you keep your quarrels in a quiver. You don't want to be letting those quarrels fly because somebody's going to get their eye put out. Right, Alfred? Alfred the Great. So all lessons are there. We just have to have the eyes to see, ears to hear, and of course, once we get that far, we must then put our invoice out to the universe.
Yes.
Why do you think they call them invoices anyway?
Well, when R.C. was talking earlier, when he came on, he was talking about his employees. He didn't really give detail of the challenges that he is having with the employees. But my thought was, for him, just staying authentic in his heart center. And when you go in with the employees and you just really show them or they feel your love for them, and how you do that is by genuinely asking them about how they are, how their family is, how are their children, are they doing well in school, or just some interest in their lives. The love, I think, let's see, how would I put it? It's just being authentically.
They'll feel the love.
Yeah, and authentically who you are. I can feel your compassion. I can feel that you really are there to be their teacher also. And so when you were talking with Kate, and you said you were a Gemini, and Kate said that you were the horse. Well, I have the Way of the Horse cards. So I pulled a card, and I don't know if the number 12 means anything to you, but I was thinking about you being authentic in your love, and the card I pulled was number 12, Authentic Power. And it says physical collection, balance and agility, strength and vitality in service to higher goals. In the prime of his life, a sleek bay stallion holds in absolute stillness the potential of all movement. And the gift is body, mind, and spirit join forces to channel tremendous power. And the challenge, true power encompasses more than physical fitness. Whether you're riding a horse, developing a new idea, or guiding a company, you must learn to tap potential without taxing it. And then at the end here it says, skipping over, it says, true power is not a rodeo. It's the product and the gift of seasoned self-awareness. When we take horse wisdom into the home or the workplace, we realize that resources and relationships also benefit from careful conditioning if they're to reach their potential and remain sound in the long run. So I thought that was kind of cool. Authentic power, that's in our hearts. That's where the power is, in our hearts.
And it's interesting you say that, because in having a theater degree, you either know this or you don't. No one's really going to tell you that there's a power in stillness. And I was always known as one who, would play that power, whether it be, the killer or the corporal, either way, or the general, or, whomever. So it's interesting that you say that. It just puts me in ponderance mode.
Yes.
Well,
Thank you.
one little comment I'm going to make. I was just going to say, one sec, Colin, I just want to jump in and you carry on here. One thing I noticed when you first started talking, you absolutely reek of compassion. Sorry. You do.
You mean RC?
So, yeah. And you too, actually. Yeah. So it's a tone very easy to spot. So I just want to let you know, you stink of compassion. It's beautiful.
Thanks, man. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Wow. See, this is what I've missed. Is just the dinner parties of this is kind of a dinner party.
Well, it's mirroring that. All of us are mirroring that compassion and yeah.
It's beautiful.
And just seeing the connection, everything. We're all connected. Doesn't matter where we are on the planet, and like in Cloud Atlas. Oh my God, who are we? Coming back, connecting. Have we all been together before? How have we been together? In one part, it's really not important, and then in another part, it's just
over the top important. One of the other things about that movie, one of the most beautiful allegories within it, was the comet ended up being on every one of the characters in all the different times. And of course, it started when? 1847. Finished when? 2144. I haven't figured out the 2144 yet, but the 1847, Stola brought that up the other night. The date, it means 9/11, right? Yeah, it's kind of neat. But when you look at it, what it told me was that you and we're all the same being playing different roles in different timelines now. And it's stunning. Just follow the comet. You'll see it. It only appears very briefly on everyone. And when you see at the very end all the different characters that each one of them played within each one of the skits, every one of the actors was involved in every skit. They were just hard to spot.
Right.
Something as innocuous as someone coming down the stairs with a painting, just saying hello, and they look totally different, yet they're a main character. It's it's quite something. So that's what it's saying is you are the extra, you are the the cast with one or two lines in the movie, and of course you're one of the supporting actors and actresses. You're the lead actor or actress, and you're also the director. I would like to actually see. I guarantee you in that movie, the director made cameos. Guaranteed. Mm-hmm. The allegory is too complete to not have that. So I would be curious to investigate that to see if the director actually was in a cameo here and there. Because some directors like to do that. Become part of a crowd somewhere, and you don't see them, but they're in the movie, right?
And it's so cool how Tom Hanks, in particular, to me anyway, all his different looks throughout the movie, and it's just a reminder that, we just put on different suits. It's not who we are.
Right. That's not our soul.
No.
Absolutely. I'll speak to that one.
Oh, hey, and just so you know, I pulled up Skype. I've got my address here.
Oh, okay. What's your tag? And I'll send you a request right now. And hello, Pam. Welcome. We just had Pam Grooms join us, so thank you so much. Glad to have you in the room. Welcome to the team. Okay, so what am I looking for on search?
I think I just have my name, but it's Randy C. number 1, and then a Z4. No uppercase in there.
Okay. Just doing a search right now, and there you are. Oh, wow, you own the whole United States. I love it. It just says United States. Sorry,
Oh, right. Yeah, I haven't done any of that. Mail, 6166, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I just sent you a contact request. You should have it right about now.
Okay.
So there you go. That
Excellent.
is, well,
okay.
It's the only one that came up, so, there you are. And as soon as you accept, I'll add you to the room, and everybody gets to meet you in the room. Yay! Yeah, there's about, I think about 300 or more people in the room, so it's quite a room. So I'm just waiting for you to accept, and then I can toss you in.
All right.
Sometimes
I'm looking for...
just look for it should have just come up. Oh, Cygnus Trumps It is my my tag. So just click on it and accept request. And once that does, the question mark goes away, and I see online. What a handy tool. Well, of course it had to be Skype, right? Just coincidence.
Is it Trump Set, S-E-T, or S-I-T?
Well, it should be there waiting for you, actually. Trumps It. Cygnus, C-Y-G-N-U-S, Trumps It. And here, there's another one. I love bringing this one up, too. Ever played euchre?
Wow, been a while. I don't...
Okay, well, what's the most powerful card for playing euchre? It's the only one no card can beat.
I don't even recall.
Well, there was the right and left bower, and of course the right bower. Say when you're playing euchre, and this is for all the euchre players. I know everyone's out there going, "Oh my God, check this out!" All right, whatever suit comes up as the main suit, be it hearts, then that means that the jack of hearts is the right bower, and the jack of diamonds, the red, is the left. If it were spades, it would be the jack of spades would be the right bower, and the jack of clubs would be the left. Now, the right bower is the most powerful. Left is the second most powerful. Then it goes to ace, king, queen on down. Okay, in that particular suit. That's why in euchre we'll say when you're playing teams and stuff, I'm going alone. Generally, when you do that, you typically have the right, left, and ace, and maybe a couple of junk cards. But the thing is, whatever is led, if you lead hearts, then everyone else has to play their heart, and whatever suit is led wins. But here's the point of it. Right bower. Oh, isn't that interesting? In order to get to the truth, you must bow to the divine feminine right. Just like a ship, you check out a ship from bow to stern. Stern being divine feminine, creative essence, and mind. So you must bow to divine creative spiritual essence, mind. That's why the ship is the mind. Ancient etymology for ship means mind. That's when they talk the boat of Ra or the bark of Ra is what they're speaking of. The vessel, that's your ship. Your mind is your ship. Right? So, looks like they're starting off with the fireworks again. But anyway, these are all little clues that jump out at me. So the most powerful card in euchre, is the right bower. The ultimate divine feminine essence card. So I thought it was kind of neat. So there you go. Did you find my contact send yet?
No. It's been a while since I've used Skype.
Okay. Well, it should come up. Go to
CYNUS space.
Okay. Hang on. Do you see where there's a little orange dot lit up beside recent?
I don't have anything that says
okay,
recent. Yeah, recent. Okay. There's no orange dot.
Okay. Well, click on recent. Just click on it, and chances are I will.
I've got Untitled. No. I've got History.
No, you just want to go to recent. What platform are you using? Are you on like a Linux base?
I've got a Mac. MacBook Pro, so it's
Okay, so it's a little bit different with Mac, so it might take you might have to dig around because I have that particular Skype on my other computer, and which I can't use. That's my supercomputer. Go figure. And it's a little bit different. So I'm there.
Okay. Kate Renee Thompson, Sinus Trumpet. Got it. What I did is show online. I'm sorry, I was offline. Duh.
There you go.
Accept. You're accepted. There you go.
Okay, now I'm gonna there you just popped up, and you are now in Love and Stuff. That's our main room.
So all right. There's a room. I need to go to a room.
No, you can't call right now. I'm already calling out, so I'll decline that.
Right. Okay.
So
okay.
no, I've already added you. So somebody's starting to write now. I'll just write hello, and you'll see it. Ta-da!
Cool. Excellent. Right. Thanks, mate. That's wonderful.
No worries. That's our main room, and everyone everyone say hello to Randy.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I'll speak for everyone in the room. BFT, you showed up. I'll let you bout and time, and I'll let you figure out what the F is.
Oh, really?
I say that to everybody. Where you been? We've been waiting for you.
Yeah.
We can't start dinner without you. So everyone.
I keep having this thing. Another one of people saying, "Where the hell are you? We've been expecting you." Like my spirit guides and all that. When I'm meditating, they're saying, "Where the hell have you been? You know, what's taking you so long? You knucklehead."
About time you showed up.
Yeah, and that's about fucking time. Yeah, and that's the other part of the Gemini thing too. So
I used to call all the new songwriters that were wanting to work on an album, and they'd be like 6 months or a year or whatever. And I said, "Oh, so just came out with a brand new BFT album." Right? Everyone had the same album title if they took too long to create an album. Hey, BFT, that's my favorite album.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about fucking time you showed up. But anyway, that's and that's it. And everyone that does, this is the beautiful thing. Every clock that's already ticking and talking that shows up, you know what it does? It creates an even greater dominant frequency. For those that have never heard the dominant frequency theory, it's not theory, it's law actually. It's a universal law. That a dominant frequency, every other frequency will and must come up to meet it. Because it's a dominant one. It will make everything else vibrate at the same level. That's why they focus on the fear porn to keep everyone down in the low grade with their egos, right? Keep them in the greed, the lust, the jealousy, and the hatred, and the anger. Keep them all down there, and you can own them for eternity even. So what happens, though, when we step out of that, we become a blip on the radar, and then we have to climb higher to get off that radar. But as soon as we get to that point of not yielding our vibration, we become dominant frequencies. And what happens is we move up, we create a void below us. Nature abhors a vacuum, and it will fill it with somebody that's not quite ticking with you, but close, and they will bring them up into that frequency. So by default, this is what I was saying, what you're going to see now when you plant seeds, instead of waiting 3 or 4 months like we did 3-4 years ago, we're seeing it literally in a day or two. Because that's how much more vibration. And look at the millions upon millions of people that are in the streets right now around the world that you won't see on Meat Stick Media. They don't want to show that.
No.
Right? But it's happening. We see the pictures. It's all there. We get the reports from people that are in it. So it's very real. So what happened, here's a way to prove it if you want to do this. Go out and pick up maybe, 50, 60 clocks. Put them all ticking at different times into the same room, close the door. Go back a couple hours later, and what you're going to find is every clock going tick, tock together.
Yeah.
Because one of those clocks is the dominant. And as soon as the one next closest in frequency to it will line up with it first. Now you got 2 ticking and talking, and even more dominant. So the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, and then eventually the whole thing just goes all together, and we all start clicking in unison. So what if ego needs proof? Well, here it is. When people contact me and vice versa, saying, you were in my head. That was exactly what I was thinking. And you have this happen more and more now. You'll see it. And it's because those of us that are at this table. It's a level table. It's round. There's no pedestals allowed. All are equal at this table because we're all creation. We can't be anything but equal. Duh. And what's happening now is because Everyone that shows up, that's why I say, about time you showed up, we need more clocks. What we're doing then is we're talking at the same time. Therefore, what's happening is we are now starting to resonate on the telepathic, creating our own Ethernet. We're going back to the original Ethernet. That's why they call it Ethernet. It goes through the air, through the spirit. That's why I emailed everything. I sent all my shit through the ether. I don't deal in the physical at all. And it doesn't matter. People have asked me in the past, well, what kind of response did you get? And I said, what do you mean? Well, what did they send you back? And I said, well, I got some automatic replies and whatever. That's it? I said, well, I don't need anything else. What, I need someone to tell me, what my law is? No. I sent out my intention, and it's sent out with the purest intent. It stands as law. I don't need someone to agree with it or not.
Right.
Ta-da!
Exactly. Yeah.
Hey, it looks like you're the Kansas cog, buddy. This machine's coming now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I learned to say that one a lot. Yeah. You got to do it like Santo, though, eh? Yeah.
Yeah.
It just doesn't sound right until you do it like Santo, It's funny.
He's hilarious, that guy.
Oh,
hilarious.
We got Mim jumping in. Here's another example of TikTok. Mim, how are you? Oh, my God.
I was just going to say TikTok.
TikTok?
You were saying, where you been to Miranda? And I'm thinking, yeah, I'm waiting, I'm listening, and let's see where this thing goes. And it's been awesome. Is that Steve that's talking with you?
It's Randy
from Kansas. Randy, RC, yeah. This has been a wonderful conversation and flow. It reminds me of sometimes that some friends and I used to have just out in our garage listening to the Moody Blues and, traversing the universe with conversations like this. But, there was a while back, and I had shared with you that I had written something, and if you don't mind me taking just a minute, it goes along with everything you're saying. There's
Please.
A man named Michael Wynn who has Healing Tao University. Have you ever heard of it, Kate?
I think you've mentioned it before. Sounds familiar.
Well, he had this writing about right after 9/11 when he went up into the mountains. I don't know if it was in Tibet or where, but he ended up, being there, and he went through some trials and struggles, and he'd gone there to get alone, to hear his inner voice, and he ended up doing the urine therapy. I read about that in there, and then right after that, I heard you talking about it, and he talked about this place that he went to, and he called it Jade Spring, was the name that he gave it, in a place called Flower Mountain. And if you've got 2 minutes, I'd really like to share this little piece because it goes along with about the horse and the waiting. And
well, we got about 13 minutes, so go ahead, please.
Okay, well, I want to explain something first before I read it, because in this article he talked about early heaven and original spirit, and he said early heaven is where the soul, where myself sits as a soul, watching the activities of body and mind in a place called latter heaven, which was the physical realm. So our true self sits in early heaven, watching what's going on in latter heaven, which is the physical dimension. And then when it mentions in this writing, my original ancestor, or that refers to original spirit, from which all humanity evolves. It sits in primordial heaven, in the place of primordial chaos, where there are no distinctions. Here, the chaos of oneness watches the play that creation, as order, has set in motion. So here's the writing that was inspired from reading his article. And the first line you may recognize from a famous Sufi saying, "There is a place, a field, beyond right and wrong. I will meet you there, beyond time and space." This is the part that I wrote then, or that came through spirit. Beyond time and space, where the healed heart knows eternal truths, speak in quiet volumes, flowing effortlessly, expanding and lifting the soul of all creation, within the beating of two hearts as one. Jade Spring on Flower Mountain, we have heard you call to us. Come near and wait. How precious is thy voice. We give you praise and thanks for all you are. Down through the ages, you remain the eternal witness. You have found us. We are watching. We are listening. We are one. In quiet, peaceful stillness, we have seen our face before we were born. Our original spirit slips effortlessly between dimensional realities. We have eaten the golden light of perfect balance in the in-between of latter heaven. We are centered in deep, peaceful inner space. Deep, unconscious layers of fear have been dissolved and washed away. Jade Spring on Flower Mountain, we are blessed today, for we have chosen to be poor, hungry, alone. You have taught us the joy of staying at home in our center, doing nothing. Yet, all is accomplished. We have effortlessly returned to peace and harmony. We have refined our essence and completed our journey. We have consciously returned to oneness with the way. Blessings.
Wonderful. Perfect description of Wu Wei, the art of doing everything while doing nothing.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah, it's this whole physical illusion trap where we get caught in this notion that we feel that we have to do something physically. And all we need to do is to sit down, shut up, get deep, get dark, and get busy. Find your light. Just find your light, Stop staring at the shit outside, because it's got you all, it's pretty, it's dazzling. I mean, the fireworks are going to be something else tonight, and the sparkle stars and the sun and the trees and the birds and all, they got everything to keep you busy. It's the only place that people never look, and they never think to look because they're too busy, blinded by the light, an external light. They never get busy enough and just go home. There's no place like home. Click, click, click. There you are, just like that. It's beautiful. That was very, very well. You wrote that, right?
Yes, by spirit, inspired by spirit.
Yeah, nice download. Nice download, baby. Good catch.
You gotta get that out there.
It was a download, just like your music. It just came effortlessly.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's the thing. And you guys have heard me enough times on air. It's like, and you know when I'm going, and I just literally I have my eyes closed. Excuse me, eyes closed. My head is down. That's why I miss half the shit in the Skype room. Actually, more than half. And I just keep going. And I always know when it ends because I go, oh, okay, mini rant over, or download done. And that's exactly what happens. That's for me is songwriting mode, and that's exactly what. And it's funny because it took me so long; it was too obvious for me to see that, Because when I wrote songs, I never thought about them. I would just grab my guitar and I would just sit there and I'd wait, and then I'd play a chord, and all of a sudden all these melodies and lines would come flying at me, and I said I had to write quick. That's why I'll tell you all my best songs were written in usually 5 minutes and no more than 10 minutes. I'm talking music, lyrics, everything, bang, done. And I sit back. I don't know. I've lost count of how many times I've sat back and I play the song, and I have this big Cheshire grin on my face, and I'm going, where the hell did that come from? And did I just write that or what? And there's no one more astonished than me. This is the funny part, It's freaking amazing.
It's not like I'm a professional, or it's not like I can just sit down and do that at any time at will. It has to come by the inspiration.
That's the point.
And come from the heart in the moment.
That's the point, because you'll never. Yeah, I was going to say, you'll never get there if you try. You just got to wait.
Mhm.
You know, I'd sit down and the mood would hit me all the time. I'd look at my guitar. Oh, okay, it's time to play. So, and of course, when I was doing it all the time, it was like just walk in and grab my guitar and sit down, and she'd just give me something. I don't even know if I still own it or not. I don't know if Sue sold it or if she still has it or whether I'll ever see it again. But Alex, my main writer, she's written thousands of songs. Every time I pick her up, even a couple of friends of mine, beers writers, right? They'd come over and say, "Where's your guitar?" I said, well, it's over here. He says, "Why?" She says, "Oh, she gives me a song every time I pick it up." Yeah, she does that, eh? Not me. And it's the only guitar that has a name, by the way, Alex. Flat top Alexis. Yeah, she. So I'll tell you how I bought her too. I was in a music store talking with one of the guys in there at back bench where he's working on guitar, and Brad, another guy working there, he was opening up boxes that had just come in, and he picked his guitar up, and Alex picked her up, and he just strummed a D chord, and I was talking mid-sentence, and I stopped. I turned around, and I said, "Brad, find a case for it, find me a strap. It's sold. Oh, how much is it, by the way?" It didn't matter to me, and I took her home that day. You know, it was, and actually it was pretty funny. That guitar, she had a little birthmark on her. It had got sanded too much. It's a cutaway on the protruding part of the cutaway, just a tiny little burr, but they couldn't sell it as perfect because it was flawed. She had a birthmark.
Right.
Perfect, one of a kind. So it was typically at that time it was big money. It was typically a $2,000 guitar. I ended up picking it up for $600 with case, strap, and guitar.
Wow.
And it was a joke. It was a joke. I paid less than a third of the price for it, and that could, like I said, that gave me thousands of songs. So I never ever went looking for a guitar. They always found me. Even the one I have right now, I remember in picking up strings, and there's the expensive guitar room in the store, and I looked in. Excuse me, sorry, breathing tea again. And I was at the counter. I looked over, just leaned over to my right, and I looked in, and there she was, and I went, "Oh shit!" So I went in and picked it up, and yeah. Okay, and as it turned out, that was $2,000, so I ended up paying that for it. But I was able to do it over 6 months, so it didn't hurt too bad. But that was the first time I had bought a guitar in like 11 years. Got her, so that's the one I have here with me right now. Yeah, I love her. So there we go. Look at the full circle. We talked music and poetry.
Well, and I was going to share with you, too, that remember how I told you that the last couple of weeks I've been seeing X and Y and XXY and et cetera. And
yes.
So yesterday morning I just was skimming through some stuff on the Internet and came across something that some videos that somebody had posted called Ancient Knowledge. I don't know, you may be aware of it, but anyway, it talks about the two portions that I had were the last two portions, but it went into the sacred nines, the sacred number 9 in numerology, in throughout creation. It's in everything, and it's really cool. But anyway, it went into the X and the Y, and the T for time, and it talked about Tesla, and it talked about the cosine and where the term, because of sin you shall die, or whatever in the scripture, but it was explaining that it had to do with the sine and the cosine, and the symbol for sine and the cosine and time, and it went into what was time versus no time, or eternity, or 0 point, and it talked about the heart and the frequency of the heart being 5,000 times stronger than the brain, and the frequency and the effect of all of that. And it was just really interesting because I'm going, oh, okay, that's what you were preparing me for. That when I saw this, I would remember, okay, I've been seeing XY everywhere.
Okay, well, just to back you up on that, when you look at the 6 and the 9 from the spiral that they are, the 6 is a counterclockwise spiral in, and the 9 is a clockwise spiral out. And if you look at the beginning of Dorothy's Walk and The Wizard of Oz, you will see the spiral in and the spiral out. The spiral in is red, the spiral out is gold. Right at the very beginning of her walk, right? So we had to spiral all the way in to be able to spiral all the way back out, and we're just on our way back out now. And we got like a minute left here, so you guys can wrap it up.
And if you connect them, they do. And if you connect them where they connect from one to the other, it does form an infinity sign.
Yep.
That they talked about the 9 being a vortex, and they talked about the power of the 3 6s and 9. But the 9 was the one key factor.
Well, that's why I say we got 365 days, or we got 369 in a year. See what I mean? They ripped us off. That's how time got hung up, and Saturn was a bit of a thief there. So that's just my feeling. Of course, I had to take the box out of it, 4, and there's your hex, 6. So, but we're going to roll off here, I don't know, in the next few seconds. Just want to say thank you guys. Killer night tonight. Thank you so much for being at the table and just sharing.
I'm blessed to be here. Thank you, Kate.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. See, we do this together. Told ya. Anyway, much love to you guys, and again, big shout out to criticalmassradio.co.uk. If you can help, pop over, throw a donate in if you can, and if not, throw the intention there that there will be, and get the word out to your friends. We do this together. I can't say I love you enough because it's infinite.
Video provided by verdictproductions.com.